word of our community's acclaim spreads. A new follower. Of our community's acclaim spreads. Word of our community's acclaim spreads.
Hear you.
Mhm.
Hi,
That's
everyone.
wonderful.
We
My
can
name's
hear
Speedy.
you. Can they hear you?
No, Askren, they cannot hear you. They only hear
Yikes.
the melodic tones of the bottom half of the screen.
It's fine.
But that's.
Welcome to the Exploding Dice ASMR stream.
Oh my god. There we go. Oh, hey, it's really loud. There we go. I got it working. Hello and welcome,
yes.
everyone, to another fantastic Saturday here on the Exploding Dice channel. My name is Askren, and I am your host and dungeon master for the evening. Yeah, super loud. Sorry about blowing your eardrums out, guys. I didn't realize it was going to be set all the way to the top, but it is fixed now, I think. Maybe. So hello, and welcome back to another episode of Writhing Moon, our open legend horror campaign here every Saturday night with our fantastic crew. Before we get into that and into announcements and all that, oh, and there we go, all my cameras got messed up, because we have Elisa.
Exploding camera.
Exploding cameras!
Exploding cameras.
Exploding overlays, everything explodes. Exploding donuts.
Hopefully not the stream.
Not. All right. So
Exploding
before we get into the announcements, and while I am stalling for time as I crop these cameras, why don't we go say hello to our players and find out how they are doing? How is it going, players? How are you guys?
Hello.
I'm swell.
I'm eating carrots.
You have to turn your gain up really loud,
We're
Speedy,
alive.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
so you get all the.
I'm swell.
There you go.
This is the Speedy and Forella Carrot ASMR. No, I don't want to do that. No, I'm not going to do that to you. Sorry.
What?
I'm sorry.
Dumped out of that bit.
No.
Was that
I'm
computer
done.
bit? I didn't understand.
It was the start of one, and I got cold feet. I couldn't do it. But I'll happily wade right into Writhing Moon. What a glorious shore we're on.
Right?
Oh my god.
Are we on a shore?
What just happened?
Hey.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we, what is this? I don't know what that is. We have some stuff to get into when we hit our recap. But before we do that, we just have a couple of announcements, and I'm not done with cameras, so I will, but I will tell you the recap-y stuff anyway. First and foremost, if I may be so bold as to suggest, if you're not doing anything tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern, I highly suggest you find a way to plant yourself here in front of this stream, because we are having the very first inaugural episode of our brand new Mouse Guard campaign called The Dark Spring, and that is DM'd by none other than our own has a bow in his hair. 4.
You just now noticed.
I didn't notice what it was.
You noticed.
Senpai noticed me.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh man.
Oh man, Mouse Guard is my top role-playing game of all time, and I'm super happy that. Actually, yeah, because I like how diverse the Exploding Dice channel has been so far, because it started off with Open Legend, now it's getting Mouse Guard in. You're covering all the bases here.
Yeah, we don't just do D&D around here. We're not one of those casual channels. We go hard.
Yeah.
But but that is going to be starting tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern. It was supposed to be at 9, but we pushed it back to 10 specifically so you guys don't have to miss Game of Thrones, because so many people yelled at me when I did that. And oh my god,
Yeah.
my music is messing up. So I'm gonna switch to Sirenscape here. But that is going to be DM'd by 4, and it is, of course, being played by myself and Drunkly Romantic, who you may know from Hyper RPG. He's on a bunch of shows over there, as well as That Bronze Girl, who is a DM, a variety streamer, and a dungeon master on Hyper RPG. She's one of the few people who's DM'd for Matt Mercer, which is a goal that I one day will surpass her in. But she's amazing, an Open Legend DM, and then also Simply JXN, who is a variety streamer and an artist All of these amazing people are going to be playing mice, and we don't know what's in store other than I think I know a little bit from the art that Gurney sent me, but that's about it. But I won't spoil it for you. I will say you guys should definitely find a way to be here. That's tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern.
I look forward to it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Other than that, I had such an amazing time this past week on the 2 Fuzzy Dice episodes we did. We did the Glass Cannon podcast, and then I hung out with Holly Conrad from Dice Camera Action, and both shows were just way too much fun, were amazing, and thank you guys so much for coming out and supporting it. It means a ton to me. I'm glad you guys have been having a good time with the talk show. We're gonna keep it going because this coming Tuesday, I'm going to be hanging out with the cast of the Girls Guts Glory show on YouTube. Some really funny and talented ladies who do a parody D&D game, and it is going to be a ton of fun, I promise you. After that, we have on the 1st of August, I believe, or the first week in August, I have some friends from a company called Paizo, who you may know because they publish Pathfinder. They're going to be coming over to talk about their brand new game, Starfinder, which is a science fiction version of Pathfinder that has been getting so much praise. I can't wait to delve into it because it sounds really, really cool. Schedule gets a little bit wonky after that because Gen Con's coming up, and I don't know exactly what my schedule is going to be around Gen Con, but hopefully we will get some good shows in, and then absolutely make sure to say hi to me or tell me if you're going to be at Gen Con, because I want to come meet you. I want to say hi. You can come check out the tables that I'm DMing at, or we can just hang out on the show floor or get drinks. Who knows? I'll be all over. I think that's pretty much it announcements-wise. We don't have a giveaway for the rest of July, but we will have a brand new one starting in August. I just wanted to get back on the first day of the month track with that. So, yeah, that's pretty much all the announcements. So why don't we go to our players and have them introduce themselves and remind us a little bit about who you guys are playing and what is going on with them at this particular moment. And we will start with Mr. Speedy.
Hello. My name is Speedy, or Not So Speedruns, and you may know me as the player playing Felix Haskell, a priest of the White Church with a bit of a dark past, which we're about to learn a little bit more about, it seems. But as a result of his past, whatever it may be, it seems that he has a bit of a compulsion, an obsession with the pure blood, the blood gifted by the angels, and with pain and all that is holy that comes with it. And as a result, anytime that he sees blood on the field of battle or just anywhere, he can't quite control himself from lashing out at whatever enemies, or even, as of last time, friends seem to be standing nearby. So, after a tragic and regrettable episode last time, Felix is now quite distressed about his own betrayal of his friends, and we're now about to experience his home. We're attempting to visit the church where he grew up to try and learn more about what happened there and find some sort of answers as to why Felix is the way he is.
Awesome, absolutely. And next, of course, we have Mr. Din. Who are you playing today?
Whew. Yeah, Din Money here and on the chat. Tonight I shall be playing Sir Ulrich the White, sent to this cursed city to bring the light of God and justice to all. That's the cool version. Basically, Felix is the out-of-control child of the group. Ulrich would be the grumpy dad, the grumpy father figure. It's like, what the heck are you rascals doing? So, I'll be trying to do good deeds and bring my own sort of rigid justice to this lovely city and hopefully protect my friends. At least we thought they were. I don't know. Maybe Ulrich's a little grouchier than normal
I'm sorry.
after this last event. But yeah, this is gonna be good. It's gonna be awesome. I'm playing like kind of a barbarian class, so look forward to see some big damage rolls. Got a nice great sword, and looking forward to using it tonight.
All right. And last. Sorry,
Last.
not last. Sorry, I was gonna say, yeah, I'm reading something else, and I get second to last, the penultimate, but not least. 4, man, what is going on with your
A
character?
new follower.
A lot. In case you weren't here, or have never watched, I am playing Gurney Abel, who is a cartographer with an obsession with Pale Moor, this fantastic city that has such a deep history, literally deep. He has ventured far below the modern day Pale Moor and has returned with a mask. A mask that was once whole, but now sits firmly on top of his head, granting him this ability to just peer into the minds of others and maybe something else along the way. But he also has another magnificent feature, a gastric horrible fistula that has formed from some accident that befell him while he was traversing the deep depths of Pale Moor. It is a kind of like a gooey,
A new
nasty, burn your skin off to the bone quality to it. And as such, he has gone through this journey and expelled a lot of necrotic energy out of it. Seems to be getting a lot more control over it. But there's something else. After peering into the mind of an angel and witnessing the vast depths deeper than Palemore could ever hope to offer, he became incited, driven, utterly rejecting this idea, and is now seeking to build Palemore up from the blood-crazed madness that it is caught in, with the help of his friends.
Awesome, man. And last but never least, we have Ms. Lisa. Who are you playing today, and what is going on with her?
Hello, I am Lisa Lee, and I am Lisa Bell on Twitter, and I'm playing Vesper Keening, and she was the chatelaine for Queen Morgul in the palace, and now things have gone horribly awry for her and her family and the palace, and now she has a touch. She's got a touch of the banshee. So that's what happens when she gets upset.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna find out more backstory. I think this episode about a lot of people, and I'm really excited about that.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Well, that is our crew, and just for everyone who is joining, we're gonna dive into some recap. But before we do, let me remind you guys that just to keep the atmosphere and the tension and all that going during the show, we're gonna read all donations, all followers, bits, cheers, subscriptions, and all that stuff out at the end of the show. But please don't worry, we do see all of them, and we will get to all of you. And a note, you guys can join in. You can affect the show, help our players out, or even hinder them a little bit by checking out that donation panel right down below. You can give our players natural 20s, advantage, insight, a draw from the tarot deck, or you can subscribe and get a whole bunch of those monthly benefits. So that's just $5 a month here on Twitch or on GameWisp. Alright, so last time on Writhing Moon, our party had just ventured down into the depths, into the tunnels below, as they explored beneath an ancient and decrepit cathedral hidden deep within Old Palemore. They were told that this would be the resting place where they could find the remnants of an old heretic cult that a gunner of the Powder Keg was sent here to find and wipe out. And so they followed the trail, and eventually they delved beneath the cathedral and beneath the ruins into the catacombs, the ancient tunnels below, which Gurney recalled as being extremely old, their iconography and statuary resembling nothing like anything in Palemore these days. And it was beneath this, the dirt and rock in this lightless place that they emerged upon a large cavern. In its center, a giant creature, corpulent flesh, petals of flesh and teeth opening where a face might be, with long, sinuous tendrils and wings. And around it were a dozen humanoid figures draped in this sort of net of cancerous tumor growths, bound in place. One of them began instructing the party, telling them a little bit about what was who they were and why. But unfortunately, Vesper's anger got the better of her as she believed she was being deceived or lied to, and she proceeded to start murdering her way through these followers. The rest of the party actually joined in, but Felix, having his own madness, saw this creature as a beacon of light in his vision, and so, in so doing, sought to protect the creature from harm. Gurney, however, while he was doing that, put on his mask and attempted to dredge the mind of this horrible eldritch abomination called an angel. And what he saw was barely able to be described with words. But whatever it was, it cracked his sanity just a little bit, and he too became slightly more mad, slightly different than he was. And so it was that a fight broke out between our hunters and between the creature that they stood before. It went quickly as Felix cut down Vesper and Ulrich. Ulrich then cut Felix down in a solid swing. Gurney attempted to attack or to slay the creature, but it broke him nearly in half. And then Ulrich managed to bring Vesper back to consciousness just long enough to see the entire cave roof being brought down on top of you all. And so it was that our players all met their end in this dark, lightless cave. But that was not the end. That was not their end, because they awoke once more in a familiar flower-filled graveyard under a pale full moon, as they seemed to have awoken once more back within the waking dream, this time in the presence of Callum, a more forward-speaking, less mysterious, and a bit more crippled prisoner version than others they have seen of him. He told them a few things, primarily of which was how to travel back to the waking world, and also that among the things they should do was they should visit the academy, because he said that it was within the academy that his research into the brain of one of these angels ended up trapping him in this perpetual dream that seems to sustain those who go out on hunts. And also that Felix, wondering why his mind reacted so differently to these creatures and their touch or their voices, Callum instructed Felix to go back home. And it was by this lead that they took their lantern and headed back, materializing in a hall, a grand cathedral hall, somewhere within the cathedral district itself. And as they came to their senses, they realized they were in a dark cathedral room with a very soft song-like prayer or hymn being chanted and filling the space around them, echoing. And that is where we're going to pick things up. So you guys have, by the way, let me know how the music is, if it's too loud, if it's too soft.
No, it's great.
Okay, cool. You guys will be picking things up in this chamber. You can hear the noise around you. There's moonlight streaming in through high windows, but there are no lit torches that you can see. What would you like to do?
Thanks. I don't know what I want to do. I guess Ulrich's just kind of. I'll go and check on Vesper, make sure.
I think I know this church. It's familiar somehow.
Oh, it's your home, isn't it? That was the purpose of using the lantern.
Oh, well, that wasn't... The grave wasn't the one of my ancestor. It was another. It was just a church one. This isn't that church. No, not at all. Felix is like kind of, he's talking to you but not changing volume as he like turns away and is like looking around, like trying to examine like the murals and stuff in the church. I think this is called the Somnambulus.
Oh my.
The
It's part of the Grand Cathedral.
Really? I'm writing this down as well as
Yeah,
Gertie.
serious.
What? How close is this voice?
The voice
By
is
the way.
definitely... So let me give you a description. You are in a large cathedral chamber, just an arching ceiling soaring high above your head. Some sort of broken and some complete stained glass windows letting in the moonlight around you. There are rows and rows of pews that seem to stretch on for quite a distance. On either side of you, as you seem to be right in the center. The floor itself is flagstone that is arranged in different patterns here and there. The walls are supported by high columns with sconces and hanging braziers and chandeliers, none of them seeming to be lit. And you also sense there's a thick layer of dust hanging around here. The voice in this place is echoing from somewhere ahead of you, but it's this place is designed to reverberate and carry sound, and so it sounds almost as if they're very, very close.
I'll start exploring. I'll start heading towards the voice.
Okay. As you make your way forward, let me move down here. If you guys want, you can look right over here. You will see that there is, at the gurney, resolving in your vision at the far end of the cathedral, is just this large, towering dais upon which one of the most elaborate, sculptural pieces that you've seen in quite some time sits. There an altar upon which candles burn. You can see running down this altar is just rivers and rivers of hardened wax. You can see statues uplifting their arms in praise to this giant stone edifice. Gold trim here and there, as well as urns, smoking censers, and other things. As it seems like, even though this place has been long abandoned, someone has been keeping this shrine in a state of use. And as you step forward, you realize that one light actually stands out because it is not part of the dais or the giant sculpture in front of you, but rather there is what appears to be sitting on the floor, kneeling, hands on the stone. You can see where the sound seems to be emanating from. It is a figure draped in sort of dirtyish white robes, with a flowing headdress that comes down. It seems to be a female form, as the voice seems to be female. And you can see that on top of her head itself is a very large candle that is holding a flame. You can see running down the sides of her head and her back are just more streams and streams of hardened wax. And you can hear the echoing words coming closer as they seem to be emanating from this figure. She doesn't move to take notice of you.
I kind of breathe in deep, just really kind of reveling in that age-old smell of burning wax and candles, and the stone of the room. I'm gonna follow Gurney, and keep my eyes peeled.
Same.
I'll follow, bring up the rear, make sure no one gets out of line.
I'll just go ahead and call out, "Excuse me, miss."
You call to her, probably about 10, 15 feet away right now. She doesn't seem to move or break her chanting or her singing. If she's aware of you, she hasn't made it clear yet.
Does she seem alive, or does she seem like it's a loop, like we saw with the tavern man?
You can see there is faint kind of movement and shifting in her body, but she does not seem to be moving all that much. Her voice,
She's
however,
breathing though. With this.
voice, however, is very clear.
Guess I'll just approach the altar
Okay.
and just sort of examine it, see if she's left anything on the dais, I guess.
Okay. Did you want to? I mean, do you want to just walk past her? Do you want to attempt to sort of listen to what she's chanting? Do you want to talk to her at all, or touch her, or look at her?
Sort of. Gurney is just going to like extend an arm, just like in a dismissive gesture, towards her, saying, "Felix, you two are of the same cloth. See what she knows." As I just sort of inspect the surroundings.
First of all, does Felix recognize the song that she's singing?
Roll me a learning check.
Whoa! Were you a choir boy?
Oh no!
I think he was actually.
Probably way yes.
Can I have any advantage for being in the church?
Sure. I will give you one advantage.
Oops. Whoops. How'd that do? 8.
It sounds like a hymn, but you've never heard it before. The words are not familiar.
Okay. I'll walk up to her and with a common greeting of the church say, "May the angels grant you guidance." As you are approaching, and just as Gurney is about to pass her, you hear her chanting. Well, actually, okay. So Felix, you wanted to listen to this, so I'm gonna you wanted to see if you had any recollection. So you hear her as you're listening. You kind of you hear her. I guess you probably have to stand there for a little bit to catch all of the words, because it seems she's repeating it over and over. But she says, move this over here. She says, "Moon among graves, our prayers heard. By communion we save, and hear each word. May the blood soothe our fears and steel us for rebirth. Free us from this prison and take from us our curse. Each man is weak, his mind is young. Pity him not, for in blood may frailty come undone."
still want to ask her, could you repeat that? No, I won't.
I already lost track of it. Okay, but I stand and I listen to that for a moment. And then I'll approach her and greet her as I did.
As Gurney is passing by, you hear the words that she's saying stop, and she says, "It has been so long since anyone communed with my lord. Will you prostrate?"
No. Felix, you're welcome to go through the motions if you want.
Do I recognize any of that?
Any of the song or what she just said?
Any of the song or what she said from Dealings in the Palace?
Roll me a learning check.
Ooh, are there any stained glass depictions anywhere as well, or is this just sort of like a stone wall church?
Yeah, we'll get to that in 1 second.
Buh.
Where is she? Do I have it? I don't know.
I don't know.
Learning is in the mental section. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I get there we go.
So 19.
Nice.
You're not familiar with the song, with the prayer or the hymn or song, whatever it is itself, but there are phrases amongst there that strike a chord with you that you've heard either in passing or mentioned, probably not to you, but most likely you heard someone else say them. Specifically, you recall about the time that that one of the priests was, or one of the I guess ministers was at the palace. This was about the time that blood was being brought in. The word, curing frailty was a fairly common term that was used between the people of the church. Obviously, you know what communion is. Communion is physically the act of being transfused with the blood in sort of a religious rite. But outside of familiarity with the phrases, there's a lot like you haven't heard, but you can you know what? Because you guys were listening to it, I'm gonna go ahead and paste the whole thing in Zoom chat so you can reference it if you need.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to nervously approach her and thank you, Mother. I haven't heard those words in a long time. Grace be with you. And I'm going to... Can I get close enough? Can I kneel with her?
Yeah, you want to kneel in front of her, or like facing her, or next to her?
Is she facing us, or is she?
No,
facing
she's facing the altar.
I'm gonna kneel beside her.
Okay. As you sort of kneel down, you put your knees and your hands on the cold stone in a very similar position to hers. You kind of glance over and you see, much like the you'll actually see a picture if you look on the it's the one that I tweeted out before. She has basically like just an entire sheet of wax covering her face and shoulders from the large candle that sits on top of her head. It looks like it has been burned and melted and replaced counting more times than you can possibly count. It runs down her robes, and it almost like forms like a shell that's like sticking her to the floor now, because of how much sort of wax has run down. It doesn't look like she's moved from the spot in any recent amount of time.
Oh lordy.
I don't think she's alive. I don't think.
Well, maybe she is under all of that mess.
One way to find out. I'll unsheath the sword.
True, but
A bit permanent solution there.
I just want to know what.
I'll also kneel beside her.
Mm-hmm.
And facing forward still, I'll address her and say, "What Lord do you pray?"
She doesn't really make a motion, cause I guess she might very, very sort of slowly start moving her hands up. You see bits of wax cracking and falling off as she lifts them up like this, sort of pointing them up to the altar. And as you look, there's the altar itself, and then there's that big thing in the back, and it looks like on this golden platform, sort of above the altar, is what appears to be a large object that is sitting on a pile of like white rags that are sort of stained red. You actually realize that the thing you're looking at is glints dully in the light. It is not metallic, but it is actually made of bone. She says, "Ever does my lord sleep here, and ever has he tasked me to watch him."
Him?
Simon, then.
Is it Simon?
She
My lady.
She kind of, again, without sort of not moving her head or anything, her hands kind of like this, she says, "He placed his own flesh, his own bone upon this altar that we might always remember and wait his arrival."
And where did he go then?
He went to find the heart of the beast.
Did he find it? His heart?
I cannot say. My task is simply to watch over that which is his.
I can walk around them and start approaching the little altar where
Yeah.
the lump's being held.
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah, I'm up there as well.
Okay.
Nice.
Gertie, as you are gonna arrive there first, just as you can see sort of in the picture, right on that sort of golden platform, you see what appears to be at first glance to be a human skull, but it's not. It's misshapen. It's distended. It's not normal looking. It's just weird. It's like someone took it and just sort of stretched and twisted it and kind of changed. Like a bunch of teeth are sort of pointing out to one side, and the back of the head is elongated and kind of bulbous. It's one of the eyes looks like it's kind of grown in size. There are little sort of dried scraps of mummified flesh still kind of clinging to the cloth that it sits on, but it's just a skull, a weird skull resting there.
How long has it been here? Ask her that.
How long has it been here? For it to turn to simply bone, should not have been a short time.
She says, How may I count the days? I have only used but 2,000 candles.
All right, Ulrich.
Wow.
Hey, Ulrich.
I'm
What's up?
speaking low enough.
Yeah.
Can you look behind me and just tell me if her eyes are covered in wax? Did you see it all?
And I try not to look right away. I'm like,
Her face
and then
is.
look back.
It's hard to tell 100%, but her face is pretty well covered in just streams of wax that have dripped down it.
It's hard to tell, mate. Looks like she's pretty covered in wax.
I'm gonna get a feel on this thing. I'm gonna cast Precognition, level 5. And
Okay.
I just want, it basically just gives me a 2-sentence history lesson, basically, if I can glean it. I'm just going to ask, who is this and how did it get like this?
Okay. You're gonna have to.
And,
I'm gonna say the DC is probably gonna be pretty decent on this.
okay. But yes, Gurney touches his mask, it smokes up a bit, and then he just... That's a total of 8. I'm out of practice.
No, it's there is you try and read this object, but you actually get the sense that there is something here that is muddling your own thoughts.
Is there's probably still a hum coming from somewhere, like an accordion, or
it's not a noise, it's more like a pitch. Like just like a sense you get. Something is tugging on your psyche.
Ooh.
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Gurney just says, yeah, it's pretty messed up.
Can I look at the skull more? I want to see if it's like, I want to look where it's attached to the base or the temple or the altar itself.
You mean
I
where
wanna
it's
see
sitting
it.
on top of the
Where it's
rag?
sitting. Like, is it is it solid, or can I see through bits and cracks of it? Like, it's not. Like, I just want to make sure this isn't like a live thing, and they just built an altar like up to his neck or something
okay.
like that.
It's pretty obvious. What you can see is that it actually is like a skull. It's kind of like lying sort of a little lopsided because of the shape on top of what appears to be a pile of these sort of white linens that are sometimes used, like the same cloth that is used for a lot of the robes that you've seen the church wear. Those linens are sort of partially stained with ancient blood. The skull itself, I mean, you do kind of get a look around it. It's a little bit high up, so you're doing the best you can. But as you kind of make your way around, you almost notice a little something glint, like something glints off the light, sort of deep within one of the eye cavities of this thing.
Oh God. Was it a silver glint?
It's just like a light reflection.
I look at Gurney and I kind of be like, let's burn it.
Burn it.
I don't like it. Whatever this is, ungodly.
Well, that's
No good can come of it.
good or not. It's not getting us any closer to Felix.
Can I roll any kind of prescience to see if this is not real, but I want to know if this is. What do I want to know? What do we want to know about this?
Gurney kind of dismisses it.
Yeah, okay.
Like, Ulrich, he
It's like
heard
more
what you
to
said,
you.
just sort of flipped up the hand, shook his head, and walked back down the aisle.
All right. Well, now maybe I'll look for something that I can stick in the little eye hole. Then I want to try and maybe stick like a little dagger in there. I'm not about to stick my finger in there, but
Oh, my shoe.
Why not?
and I don't know. I don't want to use the spear. It might be a little too big for such a delicate operation. But if there's like a little letter opener around or anything that
Oh, my
might
shoe.
be, I kind of just
I mean, there's
Shoes.
like
Poke in
candelabras.
there.
There's like candelabras and stuff. I mean, it's up to you whether if you carry a knife on you.
I guess I would have a dagger, so I could
Pumpkin.
I'll just trusty dagger, and it's got a little cross on the hilt, and I'll just kind of. I just want to kind of like poke at the little glint that I saw.
So the eye socket itself is a physical socket. There's bone behind. As you poke in, this sort of the pieces of bone actually begin kind of like cracking away. As this thing is dry and desiccated, and it's, you know, it doesn't hold up particularly well against your jabbing it with the blade. And as the bits of the eye socket kind of fall out, you sort of see in the candlelight behind you, there is definitely something in there that is reflecting. It's, the light makes it look almost like a pale, like a bluish color.
A
Jesus
gemstone?
Christ, I think I know what this
Like a
is.
gemstone.
That's
a
best
gemstone.
case scenario. That's wow. I want to live in your pale more. If you think we're gonna find a gemstone in there,
Well, I meant like some kind of arcane gemstone power infused with.
that'd be awesome. Right now, I'm thinking those. I think of those
Take it, dude.
freaking worms.
Just reach in and grab it.
Oh.
Do it.
We've
Think
seen
so?
a guy's skull open blue before.
All right, I could.
Did?
We
You
did.
know what?
Yeah.
Worm
Prisoner.
guy skull blue?
Well, isn't this like? I swear, didn't it try to like crawl in someone's skin and stuff and like burrow? Or am
The
I
worms did.
right? That's why I don't want to just.
I don't think that was the same thing.
Prometheus. Yeah. Okay. All right. Then in that case, if we haven't seen it before, burrow in anyone's skin, then I want to freaking barbarian style. I'll just jab in there and
All right. You
grab the mush.
you kind of reach your hand in this thing, and you quick like I'm assuming you're doing this as like quickly as possible because you probably don't want to have this thing like in your hand too
Yeah.
long. So you kind of reach in through the eye socket. You feel kind of the bone cracking under your as you kind of fit your gloved fist inside there, and you pull out, and it's not really what you expected. What you appear to be holding, like, so it's about this long. It's definitely shaped like a worm, but its color is different. Rather than being like a sort of a mucusy blue, like a, you know, thick, full blue color, this is pale, and sort of like drained, and it's actually hardened. It sort of, it looks like hardened, like gel or crystalline substance or something, but it is slightly slightly squishy in your hand, and it's definitely the shape of a worm. And
Oh, no.
Ulrich, I need you. Let me just check this. I need you
I
to
need to know how thick your gloves are. God damn it.
roll me
I want to burrow.
a will check.
Okay. My will's not bad. All right. Ready, go. Oh, that's the will of God. Oh,
Explode that shit!
yeah.
And
I hope this is a good thing to have that high of a roll on. Oh man,
Right?
I hope I didn't
That's
waste it.
awesome.
all right.
I think this is good. You're reaching in your hand and grabbing something funky.
46.
I think this is good.
You, Ulrich, being one of the probably most strong of conviction and will here, you feel like there's something kind of tugging you towards this thing. Like, whatever this is, it's not writhing or wriggling in your hand, but there is something about it. It doesn't sit right with you, and almost immediately you kind of just drop it on the ground, like before it kind of takes hold of you. The rest of you guys see this thing kind of hits the ground and sort of rolls a little bit with a little bit of a wet kind of slap, and you see this kind of clear, pale, pearlescent slug thing just sort of sitting there on the ground. Felix, and Gurney, you guys both sense almost instantly a very similar sensation to what you experienced down in the dungeon where you met the scribe.
Okay.
Only
Oh,
so
that's
it's
not good.
Better than the angel, though. At least they
However-
didn't attack us then.
However, Felix, I think you would probably have the clearest understanding because of your mental state. You, as you see this, it doesn't, to you it looks slightly different. To you it looks bright. It looks like there's something in there, like there's knowledge in there.
Knowledge. Why does it have to be knowledge? Why couldn't it just be a worm? I would crush if it were just a worm.
What do you do, Felix? Because Gurney is standing up, and he's walking right over there.
I'm also standing up and walking over there.
Okay.
If I can get there first, I would kind of daintily try and pick it up with a cloth in my hand so I'm not directly touching it.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Gurney I probably can't see from where I am if there's any markings on it, right? Does it look smooth?
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any that you can see.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to rush up and try to step on it before Felix can get there. And just sort of kick it away from him.
Yeah.
Wait, Gurney, no, there's something about it. There's knowledge.
Yeah, but whose knowledge?
I mean, if we're to believe that this was Simon's skull, then his knowledge. The thing we've been after this entire time.
Uh-huh.
I'll ready my sword
I
in
do
case we
think
do have to
that's
smash
Simon's
it.
spell.
Felix is walking over to try and pick it up.
I match his pace. And Gurney's speaking all the while. Yeah, sure. That's safe. Not to be harsh, Felix, but I'm trying to keep you level-headed while we're
A new
here.
follower.
The less you have to do with this, I think, is the better.
Okay, no, maybe you're right. I shouldn't do this. I'm not in the right state. You should take it and show it to her. See if she can answer anything about it.
I see. And I'm just gonna go ahead and mind dredge this before I pick it up.
The worm thing?
Yeah, let's see if there's anything inside it.
Sweet.
Okay, go for it.
I'm kind of wondering if Bergen left me anything. There's
You
a
have a
Bergen.
real
in here.
habit of mind dredging dangerous
Very
creatures.
powerful things.
Insanity creatures.
I'm
Yeah.
well.
He saw Ulrich get wigged out and drop it too, right? And he's like, amateur. Had to do
Snap.
this.
Yeah.
Let me show you how it's done.
Totally.
Alright. Hey,
Nice explosion.
24. I got an explosion here. A total of 26.
Nice roll.
All right.
Nice.
As you
Very
as
nice.
you push your mask against the sort of cold stone mask against your skin, you feel sort of the ice creeping along the edge of it as the warmth is sucked out of this piece of stone as your mind reaches out and it touches this small sort of pearlescent globule-like slug, and it doesn't seem to be moving, by the way. It's just kind of sitting there on the floor. But as you touch it, you are going to need I need you to make me a will check.
I will. I don't
Okay.
think it's very high though. Let me double check. Let me get this typed in while I check that. Oh, okay. There's the D6 added onto this. 20 plus 1 D6. There we go. Another explosion.
Nice.
Ooh. All right.
Exploding gurney.
Total 28.
All right. You feel a very similar sensation or rush of sort of less knowledge and more just an overwhelming torrent of raw information being sort of poured into your brain, much like you did back in that cavern, though it's a bit sort of lessened at this point. It's almost whizzing past you in a way that you can sort of snatch bits of it and see almost like you can, you can just sort of make out specific details when you're, when something's moving quickly, but you can't see the whole picture. So the details you see creatures that look like twisted people with limbs bent at odd angles and, bodies sort of contorted in unnatural poses. You can see blood just pumping through the veins of people, of creatures. You can see very clearly a vision of a man sort of looking up at the stars, and just as he does, he kind of begins to look down, and you realize at his feet are all kinds of books and candles, jars and body parts assembled in some weird canopic rite. It's the information comes fast and far too sort of visual for you to really gain much of what is actually contained in here, but you get the idea. You get the sense that whatever this is, whatever this thing is, it is a collection of knowledge or a partial fragment of knowledge of someone who has gone mad from exposure to the voices that they were not meant to hear.
It's a tough sitch.
Lots of knowledge.
You feel like you could, rather than dredging this, there might be a better way of acquiring all of the knowledge, rather than just trying to sift through it image by image.
I feel like there's a way to do that as well.
Yeah.
After Gurney's done crouching over it, I'd like to pick it up, and I'm just going to spit out. No, that might cause some damage to it. I'm gonna try to.
Which would be a bad thing.
I'm gonna try
Right?
to tuck it away inside my fistula, without them looking, without them noticing.
Felix is watching this pretty closely.
That sounds like. Let me see.
It's a magic trick. He's
That
gonna
sounds like
just turn around.
That sounds like an
Right?
agility
Yeah.
check.
So what I can do actually.
Constitution check?
Here's-
I don't know.
I have an idea. I'd like to use my new influence powers to cast darkness, and it's going to be an illusory darkness that
So what
covers
we
this
see then.
object.
Oh, okay, just covers the.
Yeah.
So what we see then is you
5 foot-
picking
it's
it
a
up,
5
and as I watch it, it disappears.
More like it's like I try to like angle the shadows so that it's kind of like, you know what, fuck it. I think Gurney is going to just tuck it in. Let's see how they respond.
Gurney, what are you doing?
What did we agree last session? What did we agree? Is this teamwork or is this team jerk? Which one are you?
I
Oh, God.
hesitate just a moment, just letting the head or butt, I can't really tell, of this worm just sort of like sitting on the edge of the fistula. And I just sort of like give them this queer look and I say, it's got a lot of knowledge in it. Seems a waste to just step on it.
Save some appetite for dinner.
Gurney, are you sure that's a good idea? This thing causes madness, as far as we know.
How many points did Gurney of Madness pick up before last game?
3,
Three,
all
right?
at once.
How many do I have at this
That's
point?
Too
You
bad.
have 6 or 7, I don't remember.
Is there a cap?
We'll find out.
Oh, that's right. We don't know. Okay.
Can you put a cap on insanity?
Oh.
Gertie
right.
just get Felix.
Okay.
I'm really sorry, but Gertie just sort of gives you this very poignant look and says, Felix, I feel more comfortable on me going a little out of my mind, because at least, even crazy, I'm certain I would have good intentions. It's all for Palemore, you understand. With you seem to have a deficiency. Not that I'm saying it's your fault. This was done to you very crudely, so I'm sorry. But with the best intentions, and I just drop it in my fistula.
Blink.
Okay, so...
I just look at Din Money like,
Uh,
got a point.
At least it didn't really act like hostile towards us. I mean,
Okay.
it freaked me out, but at least it didn't.
Yeah, like it's all a waiting
Yes.
game.
And
I don't know.
I start trying to will the activity that is in my fistula to sort of do what it does, which is break down something and take what it has and add it to me.
Okay.
I'm trying to make it so like, yeah, you got it.
So
Or-
as you consume this this slug, this kind of pearlescent slug, you are going to immediately gain 1 full point of madness. You are also going to gain this is gonna, I have to figure out how I want to do this.
How do you want to do this?
How do you want to do this? Dirty.
Okay.
You want to go crazy or you want to go mad? Your choice.
Right? Totally. That's exactly.
Or insane.
I want to eat this gummy worm. What flavor is it?
Right?
Oh gosh.
Blue.
Ah!
My favorite kind.
You are also going to feel as this sort of, there's this hot sort of rush of information, of knowledge, of Madman's knowledge kind of rushing to your brain. You are also going to feel something sort of shift, and you're, how do I word this without sort of making this too obvious?
Make it obvious. No, obvious is great. I'm just gonna say, yay for obvious.
No, because it's not information that he would actually know. So that's why I have to. Alright. You are going to have a better understanding of your own mind.
Good.
A much clearer understanding, in the sense that you sort of almost see that you can almost see your mind itself, and there are all of these pathways that almost could be tunneled through, that your brain is now or could be a place to hold more of this knowledge if it could just expand.
I see. And then I'll just let this simmer because I kind of don't want to dive in just yet.
Mm-hmm.
But do I feel like this is as much knowledge as I'm gonna get from it?
There's there's actual physical information there, but it's you are driven a little bit more mad from it. The actual information, though, if you need it, you will be able to recall. So
Okay.
I have a list of the things that you now know, but it's almost like they become a part of you, so you don't really know exactly what you know yet until you try and recall it, right?
Yeah. So I think now's not a good time. I sort of stand up, just. All right. Felix. We should. Seeing as this is your home. Well, I don't know if it's your homestead. You said it wasn't, right?
No, this isn't the church that I grew up in, but I mean, this is part of the Grand Cathedral. We're in the Cathedral District. It's not far.
All right. I'm just gonna look at this skull. Does it look like it's expanded?
It is very misshapen.
I see. All right then. Let's
Is
leave.
that going to happen to anyone who gains that knowledge?
No,
Are
that's
people going to get misshapen?
that's a side effect of the blood.
Okay.
Clearly. As I start walking out.
As you turn away from the altar, you kind of remember that the woman is still sort of kneeling on the floor. However, as you do, you see her still kind of there. You see her struggling almost to move, and then with a crack, you see some of the rivers of wax begin to break. And she actually begins sort of attempting to stand up, and as she's doing it, you hear this sort of like tearing sound as something is ripping. And as she does, she's actually going. You actually watch as she physically stands up, and you see the robes, kind of like the wax is hanging heavy on her robes now. So her face is now covered by this like heavy cloth with wax dripping off of it. The kind of lit candle still hanging precariously on the top. Her arms hanging limply down at her sides. And
Try to help her up.
you kind of touch her, and you feel that she's covered by these robes and stuff, but you can feel under it this strange, it's like a gooey sensation under it. And Gurney, she is looking without a face, looking straight at you, and she says, "You smell like my master, but you are not him. You are too frail."
I'm sorry. And Gurney heel turns and starts approaching her.
Okay.
You'll have to repeat that. Because there's a lot of distractions currently.
She says, "It's in their blood. Your own frailty can come undone. But seek not the truth in the blind and their eyes." She says, you cultivate eyes, but they will not help you see the truth.
Woman, I'm beginning to see the dichotomy that has arrested my beautiful city. I reject both of them, but I will certainly use them all to my advantage. I owe no fealty to whatever you speak of. I only owe it to Palemore. So sit back down, light a candle, and waste away for all I care.
Bitch.
Unless you could perhaps tell us more about this lovely church. Do you know this man? My good friend Felix?
Felix is just kind of standing there waiting for her to answer.
She doesn't really take her eyes away from you. She says, "You are in the chamber of sleep, my lord's treasured resting place, where he will return to once again."
Return or awaken, madam.
He promised he would return, and so a vigil I should hold.
Gurney, she's a bit gooey, a bit not, maybe perhaps not exactly alive. Gooey, she's a bit gooey and jammy.
Thank you. Thank you for those details.
It's a bit odd. It's a bit odd.
So you say smell like him. Was this an exclusive smell? Only to him?
Or everyone with the blood.
She says, "Those tainted by the moon, those purified by the blood, they have different scent. Have you chosen yours?"
Yes. What is your name?
She kind of like twists, and you see like a sheet of wax kind of like falls off of her head, kind of crashing onto the floor as she attempts to sort of like lean heavily on what appears to be a wooden stick or something. As you realize now that she's standing up, she doesn't actually rise to full height. She's very much sort of stooped, like hunched over. Very different posture than what you would have expected to see, from her fairly normal shape while she was on the floor. She says, "I am Alicia. I am the one who's tasked to watch over my lord, our lord, and wait for his return. She says, I sing the hymns that he taught only to me."
I pause for a moment. Do I know any of these hymns?
You don't know many church hymns. It's not really your thing.
I know, but do I sense that?
However, you do get the sense that you know the words to the one that she was just singing, and not in the sense that you heard them, but it's almost like you could recall them.
What happens when your master returns?
Then all will be made pure.
And how do you know when he has returned?
He must reclaim his own flesh and bone.
Well, then I look over at Gurney, who has claimed them. She's waiting for her master to return, Gurney.
Uh-huh. All I see are a pile of bones.
No, bro, she's waiting for her master, and I kind of elbow you a little bit to return.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Poke him in the chest. Oh, and then I'm like, oh God, why did anybody but Gurney to do that too?
All right. I sort of roll my eyes, and I'm going to cast a charm on her.
Okay.
I would like to cast or a bane. Yes, I'm gonna cast a charm. It has to be. Oh, fudge! It might be a major charm.
What are you trying to do?
It
Sorry
has
if I'm distracted. I'm looking for a picture.
No, it's fine. I'm just trying to read over this. Oh, it has to be power level 6. That's so horrible. I need 22.
Why can't
Ugh. I don't know if I can do that.
I never find the things I need when I need them?
I could try it.
Yeah, so what if we make her, you've returned, Kearney.
You know what? Instead of that, I'm going to create a phantasm. It is going to be power level 2, which is much easier, and it affects smell, sound, and touch. And you know what? Actually, I'm going to do power level 3, because then I can do sight as well.
Mm-hmm.
And what I want to do is I'm going to amplify whatever scent that she's picking up, but I'm also going to amplify my look. I want my head to sort of look to her like the thing on the altar right now.
Okay.
It's against her resolve, I believe.
Okay. We'll try it.
Oh yeah, it is against her resolve. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. A d20 plus my influence, which is going to be, I think, a d6. Yeah. Oh, a d8. Okay.
Nice.
Let's pray for the best.
To
And
God.
I've seen Simon in visions, and I've heard them talk. So I think
Nice.
I can do a spot-on impression.
Ooh, yeah. Nice.
29.
What?
Nice
What?
one, dude. Nice. Nice.
So you want to take. You want to take on his form
Yeah.
in front of her, and what do you want to do with it?
I want her to believe that her lord has returned.
Yeah. Get some monsters on our side.
I am the Messiah of blood.
Okay.
I also give Ulrich a dirty look because I did not want to do this.
All right. So as you
You'll do
And I'm
great,
like-
kid. Yeah.
as you sort of create this mind effect, this illusion in front of her,
Yeah.
is it just in her mind, or does everyone see it?
Oh, that's a good point. It is only for that individual. No, actually, I think everybody can see it.
Oh,
Cool. So
It doesn't say exactly. It just says versus resolve, so it would technically be against everybody's resolve. So, yes, everybody is with this.
everyone within sight,
Okay.
probably.
Yeah.
So you take on this form, and as you do your best to sort of become this man with this giant, sort of monstrous, distended, weird head, and stand before her, you see her. She's actually going to kind of like stoop low, and you see her voice ceases to become. It ceases to be sort of this sort of fairly normal person voice, and it kind of turns into a sort of a lower, raspier tone, and she says, "Are you him? Do you return?"
to say in my best Lord Simon impression. I
Yes.
am here at sea.
She's going to she kind of, you see her slowly reach up, and you now, for the first time, you're actually seeing that her entire body is draped in this sort of white cloth that is you know, like a priest's robe. Her arms actually have sleeves that are like fairly tied up fairly tightly that kind of come up over her hands, and she's a heavy hood that is sitting over her face that is kind of weighed down with so much wax that it makes it so you can't actually see anything about her. And as she kind of pulls the hood up and kind of steps forward to look at you, you are going to see her face to face for the first real time.
Yeah.
Hold your poker face,
It's
bro.
like the soap woman.
Hang in there, man. Hang in there.
It's like the soap woman.
I'll edge around the side just in case it goes wrong.
If Roll20 would ever actually upload.
Oh gosh.
I'm literally, why is this happening?
Oh no.
Yeah, Roll20 is not the smoothest.
Is it
Oh,
being
yikes.
naughty?
It's not doing anything. Let me just
Uh-oh. Oh my.
Are you uploading an image or something?
Looks
Yeah.
like it, yeah.
Oh god, that's a bad thing.
Is it the soap woman?
I don't know, let me try and...
I'm just glad it's not more tarot cards.
Oh, you know why? I know exactly why. That was a mistake.
Uh-oh.
So, I'm gonna... No, wait, it's loading now. My internet's been shit. So,
I'm sorry about it.
Hail more internet. Classic.
Right?
Classic.
There's so much interference.
All that arcane interference in the Palemore.
We're not in an angel hotspot.
That's right. Exactly. There's no free Wi-Fi in Palemore.
yeah, I'm just stuck on a loading screen now. So,
Thanks.
I'm gonna have to give it to you guys description-wise. Or you know what? I can probably put it on chat on screen in OBS, and you guys can check the thing there. So, you see what appears to be a person, or what was once a person, but however long she's been here has changed her fairly significantly. And instead she just like pulls her hood back, and you see dozens of eyes looking up at you. A long extending tongue hanging out from an open jaw draping from under this white fabric. And she looks up, she says, "I have done my duty, Lord."
Oh god.
I steel myself, and I sort of reach forward with one hand and just sort of rub her shoulder, and just say, "Yes, you've been faithful as I've been instructed." Blip. She said, hold on, she was really gross about eyes. I'm kind of upset about that now. So,
I wonder maybe you can have her do something.
you know what? I'm gonna start
Run there.
I'm gonna start some telepathic communication between me and everybody else. It's not a high power level. It's just I just need to roll my influence again. I'm gonna turn on a radio.
Nothing
So
in a poem about eyes.
actually, yeah, there is. Holy shit.
We just heard something about it, right? Yeah, like don't follow the
Moon among
blind
graves,
or
our
something.
prayers heard. By communion we save and hear each word. May the blood soothe our fears and steel us for rebirth. Free us from this prison and take from us our curse. Each man is weak, his mind is young, pitting him not, for in blood may frailty come undone. But nothing about eyes.
All right.
I
so
swear it was after that one. It was after
Well, she
That
was talking
chant.
about being salty about eyes. She didn't like
Was
she
that-
didn't eyes,
okay.
and eyes weren't the way to see. Like eyes weren't the. I don't get it. I don't understand.
Unfortunately, I needed a 20 in order to communicate with just one person. So
I think
Using
as
that 20.
I don't have any. I don't think
Come
I
on,
do.
chat. Where's True North at?
Oh my God! Do not.
All right, so you are attempting to sort of send a message, but you're more startled by this presence, and she's kind of leaning into you, like almost
God.
examining you closely, saying, "What do you wish from us?" As she does, she kind of like almost reaches up to like touch your chest.
I take her gross hand in both of my hands, and I instead sort of rub it with both hands very soothingly, and I say, "How many are left? What has transpired? My senses, my ever-expanding mind has drifted away from this place."
She kind of like almost recoils a bit. She says, "I have ever been here performing my duty. I have been subjected to their voices, to the words, to the sounds of things that I should not hear. But I have resisted. I have remained."
And I kind of get the sense that she's been taking on the eyes willingly, but has been resisting them. So I'm going to inquire. "Then speak it out loud. Tell us there to dribble in lies and reject them."
Not. You're gonna have to restate because I have no idea what you asked her.
I want her to sort of like tell me what their voices have been saying, and I want her to like say them out loud and then reject them out loud. I'm gonna street quarter preacher her.
Yeah.
She
Sure,
kind of
wanted.
leans forward, her tongue sort of snaking up towards you, as she says, I hear only whispers of a moon, of hunger and of pain. They cry, but then they go silent. Their voices drift up from below. It no longer sleeps.
I nod, and I say, "The time has come to rid this city of the debasing, horrid impurities that still cling to our home and our people. Thanks to you, it will be done. You should be proud, Alicia."
Your purest angel wakens, but you can finally claim the prize from it that you seek. Is that why you are here?
I just sort of dart my eye, my misshapen eyes around to my fellows and says, "Yes, I have been waiting for this moment."
She kind of sort of takes a step around you, and still kind of like looking at you, even though she's not like facing you. She hobbles over to the altar, And as she does, she kind of just puts her hunched back against two hands against one of these statues and pushes. You see the statue actually pivot as if it's on like an axis, and as it kind of grinds along the stone, you feel kind of a rush of cold air come up from wherever this below is leading. And she says, "It sleeps no longer, so take care. But I know you will save us all."
I'll just step towards it. As I step towards it, I give a passing nod to Ulrich. Like,
Oh, I was just putting away my sword because I was like, cool. She's alright. Yeah, no. Alright.
I give you a nod. And I sort of like
I'll prepare the dice.
make her face the hole as I say, "Would you like to see?"
She kind of turns to you, almost shocked. She says, "No, it is not for me. I have felt their touch too much, for too long already."
You're right, you have suffered long enough.
Suffer no longer. Alright, let's hope it's a clean death for her. Chill, okay. Yeah, that's a nice, clean.
Oh God.
Woo!
Nice, yeah,
Oh
not
my
natural, but 20.
God.
So you're trying to make a surprise attack on this creature?
Just give it a nice, clean execution death.
Well, okay. Let's work. So as you kind of bring your sword down when she's not looking,
Oh, God.
you are going to hit the flesh, and even though it under the robe, even though it feels sort of like squishy and covered in eyeballs, it is also surprisingly tough, and your sword kind of basically buries into like her shoulder from behind about maybe 3 to 4 inches. And there's a bit of a kind of a cracking of bone as the heavy impact smashes into her, but as she's gonna be like almost taken by surprise, dropped to one knee as she lets out a screeching wail of pain.
Ooh, okay. I step in and I say, "Betrayer, you traitor!" As I step in front of her and fling my coat about in front of her protectively, and I whisper, "Randall chased you," and I say, "You dare strike my servant? Get out of here! I will rip the blood from your veins." As I try to make you all run away. And
I'm so scared right now.
Yes, Lord. You, Lord.
God help me.
Oh my God, just run! And I try to make a big roar as I try to scare them into running. And I'm going to take chase as I yell back, "Hi."
Please, don't hurt me, Lord.
Do I have to make a deception check as we run away?
I mean, you don't. Are you intending to stay behind?
I'm trying to drive them away, yes. And then, if she's not going to attack them, then I might stay.
I mean, you get the sense that she probably can't move all that fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's gooey and jammy. I don't think she can do a lot.
Nice.
So if you wanted to run away with the group and just like leave her behind, you probably could do that.
Dang, so we're just gonna give her a nice wound to just feel some pain for a while.
Oh, fuck. Yes, you guys run. I'll stay for a moment. And I'll just say, "Hold on a second."
We'll just be
I'll
waiting behind the next
run-
corner.
Yeah, I'll
see
run,
how it
but not
goes.
far. Like, get behind a pew, pretty much. As soon as because she can't see anything anyways, right? It's just like one of those things where you just like start running and then you just
She
like
has
start.
no blind spots.
Yeah.
Literally.
Literally.
Oh yeah. Well, she's got the hood. I mean,
That's down.
I'll duck down. It's just like run and then just like try and just like lighter steps, so it sounds like I'm running away.
Oh, that's
So
funny.
And then I'll
Classic.
hide behind a pew.
all right. So
Oldest
as
trick in the scroll.
as you
my
guys basically
God.
turn and run, you see her kind of like lurching to her feet, like clutching this bloody, bleeding wound. The blood itself is staining her kind of dirty white robes as she looks up at you. And as she does, give me 1 second.
Oh God.
As we're turning, can I blast her with some entropy as we go?
Yeah, before she regains her
This
composure, if you
poor
wanted
woman.
to, I guess. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Can I give her disadvantage because I'm in front of her? Currently.
You want to take the hit?
Kinda.
What? I
I'm
wanna
trying
hit
to
you.
put on a show here. I mean, well, actually, wait. I
It'll
don't.
be like.
Oh, okay, yeah. Die, creature. You don't belong in this world.
I think I did that right.
All right. Yeah.
This poor woman.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking up some. Fine.
She was waiting for this moment for so long, and we totally just
Oh yeah.
ruined it for her.
I'm trying so hard.
I'm so sorry, Lord. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, I'm trying to find
Forgive me.
something, but I can't because, of course, I'd have to go to the actual book. Why wouldn't I? Okay.
Oh my God.
So what do you? So Vesper, as she's being struck, what are you doing?
I'm following Ulrich.
But you said you were
I'm
shooting.
casting as I'm.
Okay, yeah.
I'm
I wanted to know what are you
I'm sorry,
shooting?
Lord.
What are you shooting at? her?
Entropy. And
Ju-
just a
Entropy, I think.
yeah, just a
Okay.
like a yeah,
All right. So as this kind of
silent wave of entropy.
as this kind of this pulse of flickering burning energy blasts from your fingertips as you rush towards the door, Gurney, you're sort of turning back towards you. You see this kind of buff at her and blast off like part part of the robes, kind of revealing this sort of purplish muddy flesh underneath, scarred and burned, as she's like letting out this horrid shriek, now just in complete rage. Whatever this, whatever has taken over her body is clearly she is being lost to it. You, Gurney, you can see your chances of reasoning with this person are running extremely slim.
I understand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something. I'm going to tell you what it is in just a moment. In fact, I might just know what to do at this very moment to stop her from being mad at me. No, I don't. I don't know. I do know. I'm going to use lesser domination against her resolve.
Okay. Go for it.
20.
Is that a sustain persists?
It will be. Wait. Oh fuck. No, it's lesser domination. So it's resist N. Or is it? Actually, yeah. I can do greater. Yeah.
We have to
Oh, I have to declare it, don't I?
yeah.
So this is lesser, which I think I was going for. So this is going to be just one turn of she has to obey me.
Nice.
Power lesser, but you have to target your power level.
Lesser is power level 3.
Yeah,
And
but
that's what I was
that
thinking.
can't target human level intelligence. That's animals.
Wait, domination?
Yeah, power level 3. You can target creatures of subhuman intelligence.
Are you looking at domination or charm?
Domination.
Domination, really?
On the dominated bane, yeah.
Dominated Bane.
Guess she's not into that stuff.
Oh, now I had to scroll down.
Yeah.
Well, shit, I had enough for level 5. I should have declared a greater. Oh well. Oh wait, I need power level. Okay, never mind. I try to use my powers to. I mean, 20 is good, but it's definitely not power level 9. So
You can feel yourself kind of grasping onto her mind, but at this point, it's her, like, whatever is, like, if she was holding on to any humanity a few seconds ago, it has, you know, those have been blown, like, just torn away, and she is basically in a frenzy now, just a rage that is probably caused by a mixture of blood and madness. And so you try grasping onto her mind, but your grip is tenuous at best, and she is going to begin lashing out.
Oh God.
So let me.
I thought she was weak. I'm sorry.
I feel like this is like Gurney breaking up with his girlfriend in Palemore, or his wife.
No, this is
gosh.
Gurney breaking up with
gosh.
somebody else's girlfriend.
Yeah. Yeah. What do we walk into?
Man,
Oh
Simon
my
really dodged the bullet there.
Yeah. This is his whole plan. It's like, yes, I finally got rid of her.
Do anything, but she would have her eye on him.
This is the whole reason, like, Simon brought us back was for this. So
Yeah. He really doesn't like confrontation.
Just tell her it's not working.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not.
We're really gonna do this here?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay. So
Okay.
Gurney,
Your parents are waiting.
it is going
Yes.
to, this creature is going to lash out with its hands, and as it does, you see something is going to fly out at you.
Oh, wait, let's see.
And this is going to be 1d20.
She's popping her eyes at me.
Just making eyes at you, that's right.
This is against your guard. Got a 20 plus a 4 plus
Dang.
a 4. Shit,
Dang.
so that's 27.
27, that definitely hits. I take 10 damage.
Okay, as this thing kind of whips its arm at you, you are going to be hit with a barrage of these small jelly-like orbs that are going to smack into you and just pop.
Oh my god.
And the vitreous fluid that emerges from them is going to begin to burn like caustic acid on your skin.
No.
Owie.
That's something Andrew Zimmern would not eat.
Much owie. I am in much
That's
ouch.
horrible.
I would like to leave.
And so as it begins sort of like just peppering you with these things that are just striking you in the chest and the arms and the face, just acid like burning all of your body, it is also beginning to kind of shamble towards you with its tongue thrashing around, clearly seeking something to tear with its elongated and sharpened teeth. What do you want to do? Do you guys want to stay in, fight this thing, or do you want to run?
I try to run away. As I do, I'd like to summon creature.
Okay.
I'd like to go ahead and just do one creature at power level. I don't need it to be powerful, so what I think I'm gonna do is just do it at power level 4. And it is going to be 2d6, I think. Is it 2?
Oh, important question. Did those things make Gurney bleed or just like sizzle?
No, they
sizzle.
they were more burning than they were cuts. Yeah.
Good.
No.
Then we can run. Okay.
So I have this thing now, and it is gonna just. If you guys look behind you, you're sort of watching Gurney run away. The phantasm, oh wait, the phantasm continues, I think, because. Let me double check though.
Oh my god.
It continues. It does not take anything. Oh.
What are you trying to cast?
Okay, yeah, I can keep the phantasm up for an hour. But I'm
Fantastic.
casting
Well, is
up
it sustain persist though?
It is not. It's special. If I
Okay.
reach your resolve, it works for an hour. I think. I'm just casting power level 4 some creature, and I want it to sort of just follow me out. I'm gonna leave it here. I'm gonna leave it here, and it's gonna
Is that
Sacrifice itself for
yes,
us.
yes, that's what it's gonna do. Like literally, the fistule starts to bubble and froth, and what comes out of it is basically this like 3-foot muck creature. And the instant it's up, it just burbles and starts crawling its way onto its feet towards this thing.
All
And
right.
it's going to try to keep pace with it wherever it goes. And I'm going to command it to take the defend action if I'm attacked again.
Okay. So you want this sort of like as you kind of like basically vomit forth this like almost like a couple gallons worth of black sludge out of your body. It then sort of coagulates and begins rising up, and then you want this thing to just sort of stand between you and the creature. Is that correct?
Yes, as I try to make my way out of the chapel.
Okay. So Gurney is going to sort of vomit forth this sludge creature and use it to sort of slow her movement. The rest of you guys, are you guys making your way out the door of the cathedral?
I would, but if I see Gurney is trying to get out, I'm gonna stay behind. I could try to go and help him intercept him. So I'll probably like wait at the exit, and or I could maybe
Okay.
I'm charging towards Gurney right now.
No, exit. Exit.
All right, yeah. I'll just be like, come on.
I'm like,
Yeah, get to the exit,
Okay.
get out the exit, but also like check outside the exit, like just in case.
Okay, I'll go to the exit and I'll start finding like if there's any way I can seal it off behind us. So like, when you guys run through, I'll be looking for something to shove in the way.
So as you kind of shove your way out these huge oaken doors and into the vestibule and ahead of it, you're in almost like an open courtyard area that you haven't really seen before. And there are two large sort of prayer statues on either side of the door, so you could potentially topple one of these over in front of the door if you wanted to. If you wanted to sort of something smaller than that, I'm sure you could find. I'm sure you can find like a stone vase, like a pot or flower pot or something like that. Din.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'll use that. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I go
I'll-
for statue, dude.
Yeah,
Go big.
definitely
Oh.
statue. I'll just grab it and use the force of God might on it.
Okay. You
Holy
want to do that?
doorstop.
You want to do that after the after they get out.
Once Gurney gets through, yeah.
Got it.
And us and Lisa and I, right?
Well, you guys are already first, right? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I imagine so.
Yeah.
Once the full party's through,
All right. So
but
you,
not the sludge baby.
all right. So you guys.
He doesn't count.
Eventually you sort of rush out the door, and Ulrich is like, he's basically shoving this statue, and we'll say you kind of use your last bit of rage to push this thing just enough so that it begins to kind of topple over. It doesn't topple completely, but it does sort of like go off kilter a little bit, enough that
Nice.
it's basically blocking one side of the doors.
Nice. Okay. Yikes. One side of the doors. All right. That's good enough for now, then, right? For them to get through.
Well, they're what this
Can
is
I
after
push
they're
it
already
again later?
This is after they're already out.
Okay, yikes. Yikes, only one side. Can I push it a little further, or
That you
can I go for that flower
you need
pot?
to roll me a strength check.
All right, let's do it.
A might check, I mean.
Go. Yeah.
Explode that 6.
Power of God.
Give me that.
Yeah. Nice.
Go Quark.
Sorry, that was my muscles flexing.
Alright, so what's the total?
Total is 22. Wait, no. Sorry, 17, 21.
21? Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. Yes.
Alright, cool. So as you guys hear the kind of crashing sound as Ulrich is smashing the statue onto the floor, blocking this cathedral doorway in a cloud of dust. You guys are left sort of standing, catching your breath in this courtyard. Not really sure exactly where you are. I think the only person who has the best idea would be Felix. The rest of you guys are just kind of catching your breath and trying to reconcile what you just saw.
Oh, jeez. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay, that was a bad idea. I'm sorry.
Why?
Well, no, it was a good idea. It was a good idea.
Tried.
The more we know. Try.
No good deed goes unpunished.
I know we're all still here in basically one piece.
Yeah, one piece.
Ish.
I mean, that's.
And that was amazing.
Okay, let's back up.
What you
Let's keep walking. Keep
I-
walking. I just keep walking.
Yeah, this is no spot to stop and chill. I'll bet, huh? Yeah.
I start leading them pretty much out of the chapel area. And I say,
Are there-
so
Any
where?
other symbols as we leave the chapel area? Any other symbols on the walls, statuary that look different, added to, like scrawled
That'd
on
be
the
something-
wall after it's built?
Yeah, that would be something Felix would recognize probably if anything was different about it. But
About the Grand Cathedral?
yeah,
Where we are, where we're leaving and running, like is it just
Yeah, no. This
anything
is
to learn?
This is as far as Felix is aware. This is the Grand Cathedral. It looks fairly similar. I mean, it looks basically like the last time you guys were here. Dark, kind of covered in dust, cobwebs, and a lot of broken in a lot of places. Falling into ruin, but it is mostly intact. It doesn't look like anyone's defaced anything or replaced anything here. The statues have always been a little bit odd. A lot of them were of like figures draped completely in cloth, like so they don't have any faces or anything like that. They always maintain like some of the sconces and stuff are a little bit more unique in design in the sense that they. I mean, Felix probably always may have puzzled over them once or twice. They look kind of like curled up figures, but they're not really not exactly human. But they're just sort of like, I guess, the gargoyle kind of things in the sense that they look a little bit off, but no one really questions it. It's just a design thing that's been around forever. So there are a lot of those around, but this seems to be functionally the same as the last time you guys were here.
Seems unchanged.
so does this change anything? Are we still going?
No, we're
Back
still
to-
going. Yeah, fuck this place, dude.
Okay.
Let's go.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
onwards.
Let's not pick any fights along the way. So maybe we can walk a little stealthy.
Is everybody holding up okay? You doing good?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ulrich's feeling pretty good after that statue push.
Thank you, Ulrich. That was.
Are you
Yeah,
you
bless
sure you want
Ulrich,
to go
thank
to?
you.
Are you sure you want to go to my home? I don't know that it's the. I mean, it could answer some questions, but I don't know if it's really what we're after right now. It's.
Afraid of your own home, boy. If I didn't know any better, I'd think I smelt fear.
I mean, if you had grown up there, you might be afraid of it too.
God protects me. I fear nothing.
What was there to be afraid of there?
Plenty.
Is there anything you can tell us to prepare us for what's waiting for us?
Worse than what we just saw?
Yeah, better or worse than that.
I mean, when I was last there, it's still my home. It's not as inhabited as it was. So no, there's nothing. You know what? Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. Let's just go.
Right.
He starts walking.
All right.
Right then. Right.
Well, as they say, your home is God's home. And, I'm all about God, so that means we're welcome. Lead on.
All right. As you make your way out of one of these side vestibules of the Grand Cathedral, sort of between this center chapel and some of the outer wings and the offices, the medical wings, the foyer where you originally ended up the first time, you eventually, Felix, you kind of lead them out the side, and you guys return once again to the streets of the Cathedral Wards. Your first time being here in quite some time. You remember not just coffins and broken carts, debris from the houses, and the bodies that have been burned at the stake here and there, but they're also, the streets are choked with statuary. Like you remember it, it's almost full to the point of bursting with these just statues that stand prostrate or in worshipful poses on either side of the street. Just tons and tons of them, haphazardly placed. They're not like placed there with any artistic cohesion. It's almost as if someone was just compelled to keep making more of these, and they just ran out of room to put them. But using these, even though the noises, the echoing noises, still come from various other places in the district, plumes of smoke from what must be fires, burning beasts or citizens, and the sound of boots and bells, marking the tromping priests that go around doing who knows what. You are able to pick your way street by street without attracting too much attention. A few, maybe a half a dozen blocks north, where, Felix, you will see a very familiar sight. You've walked this way once or twice before, and you remember that sort of looming tower that is coming up above you. It's a tall tower that ends in sort of a parapet at the top, attached to a decently sized sanitarium, a medical ward, which you recall very, very vividly.
This is it.
You're muted.
You're mute.
Yeah, this is it.
You went
Home
mute there
sweet
for a
home.
sec. It must be a little bit overwhelming.
I
Needs
woke
more
up and
statues.
I put my hand on Felix's shoulder and say, I'm sorry for whatever happened to you there. But if we can get more information.
I know. We need to know why the voices talk
Indeed.
to me the way they do.
Just know you're not alone.
Aye.
You're not alone. Don't kill me, but you're not alone.
If you kill us, we will haunt you for
I
the
won't.
rest of your days.
We literally
I'm
can
sorry.
haunt you for the rest of your days.
I'm sorry. I won't. I'm so sorry.
I hug Felix if I can.
Is there anything you need before we go in?
Was there this many statues on the way into town when you were last here?
I've been there as long as I can remember.
Good to know. So they're not new.
Yeah, Gurney, as you try to hug Felix, he kind of recoils for a second at the touch, but relaxes after
Instantly.
like a second.
Oh. Instantly he hesitates after the flinching, and then he just sort of like builds like a halo around you with his arms. It's like, okay. And then he's just like, there's something wrong with me. I'm really mean as of late. I'm sorry if I've said anything that.
No, you're fine.
Because you really don't deserve it.
Even if you were, I have no right to call any of you mean.
No,
What I've done.
I'm fucking mean, Felix. Like, did you just see what I just did? I just showed up as that girl's like godly boyfriend, and that was
I don't think that was mean. I think that was a mercy.
I think it was a mercy. We would have killed her.
I wish we could have given her the mercy of death. We can't hear. Can we hear them though? Is this just between?
Oh, it's
You guys, right?
pretty open. Yeah.
Okay. I thought this was like, hey, blah blah, and you kind of like hugged him to
That's a long
initiate
hug.
a whispered conversation. I know that's why I was like,
Hey, buddy.
you never declared that you withdrew from the hug. Though,
No,
so.
I didn't.
Yeah.
But Gertie just sort of like drums your back, and he's like, seriously, like, Felix, whatever's in there, I've got your back.
We'll see what you say when you see it. And Felix pulls out from his pocket an old rusted iron key and opens the front door. Slowly creaking open.
The door opens to the front of the sanitarium, and it's dark inside, but moonlight is streaming through holes in the roof, through some of the boarded up windows. This place has been fallen to ruin, especially hard. It is decrepit. It is falling apart. And as you take a step into sort of the stale air inside this darkened building, you, Felix, your vision changes. You're looking down the hallway here. It's white. It's the tile, like the stone, is polished. There's light coming through the windows. It's like you've come down this hallway dozens and dozens of times before in your youth.
Felix is looking reasonably distressed at this point. As you enter the front door, actually, right next to the entrance at like the window, you see a lantern there, not lit, but the same kind that would be lit, to indicate, refuge from the night. And Felix walks forward, trembling a little bit. He hesitates as he, looks over the threshold, but steps in regardless.
Good job. Yeah,
I look to the rest of them and I say, "Are you ready for anything?"
I nod at Gurney and I look at Ulrich like,
And then I show him like I've got
Her
my
house
hand
now.
on my dagger.
As I turn my back, I want you to just be like, eh.
All right. So Felix, as you
ready.
kind of lead the group in into these sort of white painted halls, the windows sort of on either side, you always remember there were people in them. You know, the beds. There were people in the beds. Sometimes they were getting treatment. Sometimes, you know, they were being transfused. But you know, sometimes you just heard men talking. And as you reach the end of the hallway, it kind of branches off in either direction, and almost instinctively you kind of make that left turn as you head towards the tower. You know that your room is the last door just before the tower, like the rounded wall of that sort of tower structure. And as you pass by these big windows that sort of look into the rooms and the chambers down this hallway, you can see the people in there. You remember they were never really unhappy. I mean, it was all kind of an accepted thing. You guys, so you're leading the group down towards your chamber. You know, it's a little bit of a walk. The rest of you guys are following close behind, and as you see these sort of dingy walls stained here and there with blood and dirt, you see the large windows that look in on what must have been patients' rooms or holding cells that have since been, like, the glass has been smashed away. The rooms are lying in shambles, and you feel kind of a chill breeze blowing from somewhere.
It's getting cold in here.
Where's it coming from?
The breeze seems to be blowing from, it seems to be mostly blowing through the holes in the roof, but it seems to be coming from ahead of you.
It's sort of like point to Ulrich to be on point. I want to spit out, I'm so sorry, Askren. I actually do have a nat 20 left.
Okay.
And I would like to use it, oh my god, to spit out 2 babies. Well, they're not babies anymore.
Big babies.
They're gonna be level 6 though.
What do you know that we don't? Why are you doing this?
I'm just
Yeah,
being
why are you-
cautious.
Yeah.
Just being cautious right now.
Don't use a nat 20 on the con. Okay.
No, I'm
Alright,
using it.
alright.
I need
Alright.
I need these babies. So Gurney just pumps out, if I can.
What are you creating?
I'm doing summon creature.
Power
And I'm just
eating live.
Power level what?
6.
So what's the?
Just-
So you get 1 creature with 6 hit points
Mhm.
and 13
But
defenses.
I can. I do, but I can summon more than one at a disadvantage too. Would I be able to natural 20 that? Or what do you think?
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say
Not-
no because it would. Yeah, not in this case.
Okay, I'll just puke out 1
Okay.
and just have it. I'll let it like hide behind me.
Okay. Is it one of those sludge creatures again?
Yes. Is there any other kind?
I don't know.
They're
man.
so cute with their
Favorite.
little.
Last one's had
Photo.
eyes and stuff. I don't.
Who knows what we'll get this time?
It seems like I'm Gurney's refining these guys. So I'm just going to have it have just 2 eyes, like long limbs, and a
Little pudgy tongue.
Just a normal baby. 2 eyes, 2 mouths, 2 noses.
And a like a cavernous maw. Just have it follow us. And I'm gonna lead us ahead with Felix, unless Felix wants to take a point.
I think Felix
I
is the
wouldn't
one who
mind
opened the
taking a
door.
point.
He's kind of just walking ahead. After he crosses the threshold, he's hardly paying you any mind. It's walking ahead.
Sludge
almost
babies are
purposefully.
no news for Felix.
Can
Just gonna scan the room and see what's here.
Hmm.
I guess I'll follow Felix wherever he goes.
Yeah.
Okay. I see Vesper looking around, and I'm like, this kid. I'm like, you look around. I'll keep an eye on these two, and I gesture to Gurney and Felix.
I keep an eye where they're at, but not like, you know. Okay.
Little sludge baby goes.
Sludge baby humor.
All right, let's see if I can actually drop this in because Roll20 wasn't playing nice before.
Imagine we're trying to sneak in the sludge.
I want
matter
to
what.
Hold on. Let me put him back. I just like shove him face first into the hole.
You have to hold him while we sneak. Oh god.
That's the
Or just
creepiest baby
slide
Bjorn
him.
ever.
It's so creepy and so cute.
Yeah, let me see if this will.
I'm sorry that I suddenly destroyed the tension.
Make
With
him.
my-
That's
Pretty
what-
adorable.
Here, how's where'd he go? How's this, Gurney?
Oh, it's beautiful. I just want to kiss it. Ugh, it needs some dental work though.
Ooh.
Braces.
Cool.
Braces.
Braces. Totally.
Did I have a picture for this? I think I might have.
Didn't wear his retainer. That's what you get.
That's what you get. You didn't brush your brushing your teeth. There's no way you're related.
This is why, and this is important for everyone at home, floss every day.
Oh goodness.
Or sludge babies will pour out of your platform.
You don't want to know where they'll pour out of.
All right.
No.
So, as you are making your way through this sanatorium, and you have your creature now. I don't have any apothecary pictures anymore. I don't know where I put it. Oh well, we'll just stay here. We'll stay on this one. Felix, you are traveling ahead, and as you do, as you get closer, you pass by a door, with a heavy. Actually, no, this is ahead of you. Sorry, forgetting about that. You're coming up onto what you remember to be your. Where you slept. It was, you know, it was not much, but it was your place, and even though your days were hard and filled with a lot of trials, this was sort of your secluded refuge, at least until the morning came. You remember it as you're kind of coming up on the end of this hallway. You almost, with your eyes closed, you could sort of walk up and open the door and just walk in. You know those steps so vividly, so by memory. You remember sort of the column that was just opposite your door. You know, it's still kind of there. The white paint on it still shining fairly brightly, even in the moonlight. And as you kind of put your hand on the doorknob, you feel almost a chill run up your arm as you prepare to open it. You guys are standing behind Felix, and this place, like the wall on your left, the doors on the right, the wall on your left is almost completely collapsed, exposing like just a section of rubble-filled broken room beyond. There are all kinds of medical instruments and stuff that have been scattered on the floor from when what was behind it got smashed. but Felix is just—he's not really paying attention to any of this. His focus is just straight ahead of him.
All right, I'm kind of just watching Felix, and then checking in on my buddy's little guy in Gurney. Maybe Vesper could be picking up the rear just to be safe.
I'll swing back around to the 6. This is a church. Yes, but there's medical.
It's a sanatorium.
Sanitarium.
Sanitarium, yeah.
Right.
Felix did describe it as a church, though.
Yes, so I'm confused. Felix, this is... You call this a church?
Yeah, can I look around? Am I seeing like more, like just a quick like ratio of, do I see more church kind of stuff or medical stuff?
This seems more medical. Felix, you know that the more religious areas are down below.
Okay.
Is there something about this room?
So...
Are these the
Felix is-
dormitories, Felix?
He's still kind of silent. He like glances at you, but doesn't respond as he's still hesitating at the doorknob before finally turning it open.
Okay.
Pushing.
As you push the door open with a creak, you see sort of the light streaming in through the small window at the top. There is, just as you remember it, sort of the bed sitting in the center of the room with white sheets draped over it. There's a very small armoire closet in the corner, and even on the walls, you remember, like, you see the small scraps of paper that you used to hang up, scrawled with religious iconography, drawings, and writings, and you're like, the room is white. There's the small sort of medicine stand or kind of surgical table that's pushed off into the corner. It's just as you remembered it. You guys are staring at, or you're watching him walk into this room, and as he pushes the door open, it is this place is it looks like something horrible happened here. There are deep gouges on the walls. There are splashes and spatters of blood here and there. You can see there's the ruined, kind of rotted wood frame of a bed just trashed in the center of the room. And you can see like long, just paragraphs and paragraphs of unbroken writing is just, covering large sections of the walls and things like that. Almost overlapping. They're just crisscrossing in various directions. It's like someone sat here writing with no real direction or reason. They just kept doing it.
What in God's name happened here? I'll just look into the outside of the door.
Felix is just kind of standing by his bed, like gently kind of putting his hand on it, like just feeling the sheets. Just remembering.
Yeah, you
And
guys.
I gesture for the rest of the team, like, you guys, like, come take a look at this.
Well,
Yeah,
it wasn't locked, so maybe somebody else was staying here.
No, you guys see he's standing next to this sort of smashed up, rotted frame, and he's like reaching down and touching something that you don't actually see. Like, if there's a pile of wood that might have been a bed once, but clearly, like, he looks like he's reacting to something else, like as if it were still there.
This was... You lived here?
Oh. Of all things.
Felix, this is awful.
I mean, it's not that bad.
It's it's not that bad. I can't even read what you... Did you write this? As I sort of like point to the walls.
Right, what?
Well, hold on, let me read it. And I just try to get up close and try to like discern a few phrases if I can.
What you kind of, I mean, the handwriting is scratchy and scrawled, but what you can gather is it reads like someone just kind of took a pen or a brush and just sort of went on this long, unbroken stream of consciousness rant about, you know, exploring religious ideals. The word pain is mentioned quite a bit. It's honestly, you get a few sentences in and it's hard to make heads or tails of any of this. It's just, it's mostly nonsense, but it is very religious in nature and very kind of stream of consciousness.
No wonder. I mean, I hate saying it, but this sort of makes sense considering, well, you know, how you turned out.
Can I look at the scratches on the walls and see if they were made by a weapon or by actual, like,
Hands.
hands?
Oh no.
Yeah, they don't look like they were made by fingernails, but
Okay.
it looks like someone attempted to like someone just took something, probably metal, you're not really sure what it was, and just like carved these deep gouges in the walls. You're not really sure how they happened.
Okay.
Their pattern is erratic, and the intensity and depth of them kind of varies, so you're not sure exactly how they ended up here, but it doesn't look like they were done by hand.
Just to know,
Yes.
the doctor that we lost when I met you all, was he a doctor for you here, Felix? Or no?
Calibus, she means.
Calvus? No. I had never met him before.
The man
We
worked
woke
on
up
the
together.
streets. I'd
Yeah,
rather
well,
him
it's-
work on me than anybody here.
It's a street doctor. The poor man's doctor.
Good to know.
I hate to see a rich man's doctor as this is what you get.
I think that's where we woke up.
Aye.
We're more priests than doctors here, anyways.
Why were you here then? Like, where were you before this room?
Nowhere.
Who put you in
This is
here?
where I always was. Where I grew
Or
up.
like, who kept you in here?
My father. Orban.
Who was your father?
Well, I say father. He raised me.
What kind
So
of
he-
father puts their son in here?
He was a priest. He brought me up, taught me the ways of the cloth.
I start looking around. I start inspecting things.
What are you looking for?
Just
Any signs, any like remnants of like paper or a book or
There's
just
no
a general look of the room.
there's no
Is it just like
there's
go
no
ahead.
there's no paper or books or anything that you see. However, as you're kind of peeking around, especially like in the rubble on or the kind of timbers that are
Word of
sitting
our community's acclaim spreads.
sitting on the floor, you realize that this wooden bed frame there's other stuff in here. You actually kind of see sort of the shimmer in the moonlight of something metal, and you actually, as you kind of reach down and pick it up, you find what looks like a wrist manacle and a chain.
I sort of hold it up and I walk over to the wall where all these slashes are. Do they match up maybe?
It's possible, certainly possible.
do the religious icons in this place match up at all with the religious iconography I have seen in the palace chapels and the regular religion of Palemore? Or is this something
Yeah,
else?
the best way I would explain it is, imagine if I guess you would be sort of growing up in like, let's say you were growing up in a traditional Christian household, and then, you know, and so you learned all the stuff, the normal stuff, and then you saw someone who kind of took it to such an extreme that you barely recognized anything about it before. Like, the words, the symbols, the kind of the concepts are there, but it's taken to an extreme that you didn't really you wouldn't have really kind of expected or understood.
A little cultish.
Possibly.
Like, it's like the difference between having a cross on your wall and having a cross with a literal bleeding Jesus on your wall.
Okay.
Sure.
I just sort of hold the chain up and just sort of like look at Felix. And I'm like, did they like chain you to the bed?
You actually don't remember that.
What?
I
Can we look at
I don't
Felix's
recall.
wrist and see if he has any like scarring from any kind of?
Good idea. Good idea.
Well, he's cut himself so often, can you tell?
Well, yeah, but there would be.
Look.
It's worth a look.
Uh,
Look.
I ask you to hold out your hand.
do so.
You, as you kind of roll back the sleeves, you find like from about here up is just sort of like, it's mostly scar tissue.
Oh, that's a
Okay.
yes.
Did we pass by a bunch of other doors in this hallway? Similar rooms like
Yeah,
this?
most of them were similar rooms you could see into. The only door you actually passed by that you haven't really, that looked slightly different, was the door into the tower itself, which is literally like right outside the room you're in, and down, you know, a few feet down.
Tower first.
I take it you weren't the only boy here, Felix.
No, it was. You can see there's other wards. But I was different. I was my father's only son.
His only son, eh? Where did the other boys or children come from?
I never spoke to them. I don't know. That's just what my father told me.
So you never played with any of the other children here?
Played. No. Felix walks out of the room.
Felix, make me a will check.
Good God.
Right. That's a D20 and nothing else. 6.
Okay. You they were talking about kind of seeing, you know, at their mention of like playing and doing things with other people here, you kind of you find yourself making your way almost unconsciously towards the tower door, remembering the familiar sort of cold draft on the set of stairs that kind of winds their way down to the basement levels below, which is, as far as you recall, that's where you spent all your days studying and being taught.
Felix, where are we going next?
Being taught and kind of modified.
Yeah, like they're forcing them to be cultists. I wonder. We're all like mumbling this to ourselves as we're walking behind Felix.
Those proclivities were learned here. That's ingrained.
He's
That's
been brainwashed.
Gurney
Since a
shakes
boy.
his head and he
abused.
just
That's
sort of
part
like
of his heartbeat.
almost like throws the manacle down onto the wreckage of that bed and just marches to follow Felix. He's like, so what's the next part of the tour?
Down.
Down. All right, we'll follow your lead.
Down. We started at ground level, so we're going into underground basement, underground territory.
That's where the religion is. Let's go find some.
Yeah.
I always felt the light of God should be above ground.
I'll agree with you there.
It leads
Where
you
else
down.
would you hide your sins, Ulrich?
I have no sins. That's why I was chosen by God. But no matter. It doesn't matter.
No sins, aren't you special? Do I see at all any even toys? I mean, there's writing all over the wall. Are there scraps of toys or books or shoes or children's anything?
Nothing.
Okay. I'm just gonna follow him down.
Okay. Felix, as you make the descent down, it's you know, once again you can sort of count the stairs with your eyes closed. It's 2 complete turns, and then you're down at the bottom. It's cold. You remember the kind of cold sensation on your skin as you push your way through the door. You guys follow him down once inside this tower, there's a set of stone stairs that winds. It goes up too, but it also winds downwards, underground. And with the confidence that Felix is walking, you get the sense that he knows where he's going. You see him kind of make his way through this cold, drafty basement area towards another door that he sort of instinctively slides this heavy iron bolt lock, off of, and then opens it without really making any kind of any gestures, without kind of hesitating at all. And Felix, and you watch him step inside into the underground chamber. Felix, you remember this place vividly because there's a short hallway that leads directly from the door. There were a few branching paths, but at the end of it is it was essentially your or what was referred to a few times as your classroom. It was as you remember, you can kind of see it in your mind's eye, a stone chamber with a single chair in the center, and books, tools, things that Mr. Corbin was using to administer the word of the church. The room that you played in was a different one, and that is immediately down the left hallway, then a slight right turn, and then there's sort of like this almost like a, how do I describe it? It's almost like a furnace room, I guess.
Okay. I walk forward towards the classroom and again hesitate at the door or at the opening, whatever it is, and just kind of look for a second. It's kind of wandering in aimlessly, picking up from the floor an empty syringe and kind of toy with it in my hands for a second.
So you're making your way into the room?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you remember it, the walls are white,
Word of our
and they are
community's
covered
acclaim
in
spreads.
they're covered in tapestries that are basically pictures of angels, of saints, things like that, that you were taught things about. There was a small, the chair in the center is large, the high back. There's a small metal table
Word of our
immediately
community's
next to it.
acclaim spreads.
And on that table, you recall sort of a series of ever-changing implements and instruments. There is a long wooden table that runs along the far wall, again covered with more of these things hanging off the wall in front of it, and then there is a bookshelf covered in, in old tomes, hymns, poetry, all that kind of stuff. There's more in the room, but those are the details you recall immediately. You guys, excuse me, watch as Felix steps into this room, and you see almost he's almost like his shoulders are lifted, almost as if he's not weighed down by something, like almost as if he's walking peacefully, almost as if like this is something he's accustomed to, which to you is very, very strange, because he is completely ignoring the fact that this room here is a charnel pit of rust and coagulated blood. You can see drains on the floor that are just kind of crusted with red. You can see all kinds of rusting tools hanging from the ceiling. You can see tapestries that have been torn and rotted and discolored. Books ripped apart and scattered all over the ground, as he just kind of steps idly over this stuff without really even seeming to notice it.
Ugh.
I look at Ulrich like, oh my gosh.
This chest just keeps getting better and better.
This is
My favorite room.
this is where I learned, where I was taught about the church and all that is holy. And if there is something to learn, it would be here on one of these shelves, maybe.
I start scanning the shelves. I'll quickly turn away and start looking.
There's very little left on the shelves. There are a couple books here and there. Most of them seem to bear church iconography. They're religious rites and texts. Are you looking for anything in particular?
I don't know what I don't know, so I'm not gonna touch them. I'll use my, the tip of my shears to kind of open books and see if there's anything to read or anything.
Yeah, no, there definitely
Yeah, let's
is.
look for
Arcane.
blood, like the keyword blood.
There definitely is stuff to read. They're fairly dense.
Learning check?
Well, if you wanted to actually pick them up and start reading them and trying to get the content, that would take a little bit of time. But you're more than welcome to do it. But there definitely is, like, these are not like light books. They're fairly dense. You can see the one you open as far as you can grasp immediately without like sitting down and just reading a few pages. It seems to be detailing a partial cosmology of saints, I guess is the best word for it. It's religious figures, important historical religious figures, things like that. None of this is stuff that you ever particularly learned, Vesper.
Yeah.
This seems more of a heavy sort of seminary education more than just kind of normal everyday stuff.
Felix will also go to one of the bookshelves and he'll pull up a book that, from your perspective, looks desiccated, hardly readable, and he just opens it to a page, and he reads aloud. And so, blood of angels was brought to man, and so it was a gift to take away the pain, to restore what was lost, to purify the impure. You save us from that which we that which we always have been.
Is there, like, what sort of furniture is in this room?
aside from the table that is covered
Yeah.
in tools and sort of the wall hanging of tools behind that, the bookshelf, the tapestries. There is some, I guess there is basically a single, like a large, high-backed chair. It looks like it's a metal chair with some padding on it. The padding sort of stained deep red. There's a small, kind of knocked-over metal table next to that, which you see. You look. Your guess is was used to sort of hold surgical implements. There are clearly, as you're looking at this chair, by the way, you can clearly see that there are very heavy leather straps that go across like the chest area, the top, and the legs, and on each arm. You also see that there are there's a sort of a thing. It's just like an arm, like an extendable arm hanging above it. Whatever was on that at one point is broken off, but. There's also some broken rubble and bricks and stuff at the back of the room.
I'm gonna go grab the chair.
It's like bolted to the ground.
Oh, it's bolted.
Yeah.
This is a torture chair.
This is some hardcore religion.
This is some hardcore torture.
In that case, by the way, you guys noticed that ever since we've left Felix's room, the spawn, the fistula spawn, is sort of like folded on itself and sort of hunched and sort of looking around warily. And I'm going to go ahead and sort of turn to Felix and say, "What kind of work did you do in here?" As I point to the chair, I try to like shake it a bit, try to point out the fact that it's bolted.
It wasn't my work.
You said you were
Others.
taught here.
Right. I sat in that chair, and they taught me the way of the angels, way of the gods.
Uh-huh.
You save us from pain.
Do you still believe that?
I don't know what I believe anymore.
Just to clarify, when you say they taught you to be free from pain, are you saying that the blood they gave you made you feel no pain as they used these tools on you?
No. No.
Okay. Alright. Right.
You said there was a furnace door, I think.
The furnace room is a different room.
Furnace room. Okay. I'd like to go to that room.
And also, do you know where your father's room is, Felix?
You don't know where Corbin went.
No. Never had the chance. Or never wanted to look after he was gone.
Gone. Where'd he go?
He died.
Oh.
How did he die?
Felix walks out of the room.
Up to the furnace room. Let's go.
As you guys make your way, Felix is kind of already pacing down the hall, and as you see him pull this heavy door, banded, like iron banded wooden door open, you guys are looking in. You see him walk into this chamber, and you kind of have to hurry to follow him. And he looks very light, very, upbeat, very sort of relieved to be here. You're not sure exactly what he's seeing, but whatever it is, it's clearly not the image that you are seeing, because this room, you can see there's a giant sort of boiler furnace at the back of the room, and the rest of the room is dingy and soot stained. From the sort of the high beamed ceiling, you see there are just 1, 2, at least between half a dozen and 10 like old dried out bodies that have just been hung from the rafters here upside down, and he's just walking around not really paying attention to any of them. You get the sense that he doesn't even notice. You see the floor, it just kind of concaves down into this large sort of storm drain style thing that is just encrusted with gore and bits of bone, things like that, on this sort of slick tiled floor. And Felix is just kind of walking into the center of the room.
My God.
Oh my god. What did you fucking do? Don't. No. This is...
I can start cutting them down with the spear.
Yeah. You drop one of the bodies to the ground, and you can see that even though its skin is sort of dried and shriveled, its entire chest cavity has in some way or another been opened. You can see the inside has been things have been taken out of it, some things have been put back into it. It's just that this body has gone through quite a lot. And then
are they adults?
Most of them.
Okay, thank god.
Most, not all.
Oh. Well, here's what I do. I immediately turn to Felix and I just sort of spread open, just sort of look at this.
What? Why did we come in here again?
You led us here. You didn't answer our question. What happened to your father?
How did he die? Is he here? Is he one of these?
One of who?
I cast
No.
True Sight.
Yeah.
It's power level 5. And
Do it.
if it succeeds, he can see through, hopefully this.
Okay. Go for it. That's a DC 20.
29.
Explosion.
Ooh.
Explosion. Explosion.
All
I
right.
say, Felix,
Nice.
I'm so sorry. And I just cast it on him.
As Felix, as he just reaches out and puts his palm against your forehead, you feel your eyes almost sting as if someone had, as if you just got smoke, dirty smoke in them. And as you open them, all of a sudden your senses are hit. Your nostrils fill with the scent of decay. Your it's like all of the sights and smells of this room come rushing to you at once.
What did you do? What did you do?
I opened your eyes.
No. No. It's
Don't fool yourself, Felix.
As you guys are, as Felix is kind of almost breaking down, trying to shelter himself from possibly realizing something that you realize now he must have kept hidden away in his mind for so long. As this is happening, you hear a sound, a faint clack, 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 the sound of some kind of cane clacking against the stonework floor. And as this is happening, you hear echoing from the hallways in which you just traveled from, you hear, "Oh, my boy, have you finally come home?" And that is where we're going to end it for tonight.
Oh yeah. Daddy's home.
Oh Lord.
What is gonna happen? Oh my god.
Family reunion, maybe a picnic. I don't know.
I thought he was dead.
Well, that is unfortunately that is where we have to leave it for tonight because, man, it is getting late and we need to save some for later. But, geez, that's our session for tonight. Tell us in chat what you guys thought of tonight. Did you hang out for the whole episode? What did you guys think? Especially, I want to go and ask the same question to my players here, man. What are you guys thinking? Actually, we'll go around one by one and get some thoughts from everyone, some thoughts and feelings. I guess let's start.
Does that answer your question enough?
Yeah. So I definitely want to know. We want to get some Felix perspective on this. Let me turn this down for you guys, because man, this is some stuff. Felix is going through some heaviness right now.
Oh God, I was not expecting my father to be alive. I thought he was totally dead. I thought that was just part of the backstory is that he was dead. But no, apparently not. Apparently, no one is ever dead, and everything is terrible. And I'm sorry if I may have tortured some people at some point. That's not important right now. What's important is my father is here, and he tortures people and is bad. And you should worry about him.
Good to know.
Can I just mention, by the way,
Writing that down.
I told Four that I wrote Felix's story a long time ago. It was one of the first ones that kind of came to me, and I've been holding on to this particular session for a long ass time because I
Nice.
knew when I did it, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. Is I wanted to have Felix sort of have this sort of memory block going on, and I don't know. I think he role played through that beautifully.
Nice. Yes.
I'm happy to be able to role play it. I'm also incredibly distressed to have to role play it. Oh,
What about
that was
the rest of you guys,
fantastic.
man? What are you guys thinking? Is
Yeah.
No
If
good?
this session had
Uh,
such a beautiful, how to say it? It had such a escalating tension that seemed to just we can't escape it. We can't escape the next horrible thing that happens. No
yeah.
matter where we go.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Oh my
Goodness
gosh.
gracious.
oh Lord.
Yeah, this
I
freaking
just-
church. Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess they brainwashed like Milo theory, and as they brainwashed him, making him think like, triggering the blood to worship like pain equals your devotion kind of thing.
Totally.
And I don't know. That's why I was like, look for keywords like blood in the text, anything like that. But it's like, well, we're about to find from the source now that his father's here. So it's like,
You guys-
Oh yeah.
you
Like,
guys should
pretty-
read my original character concept for this. Like literally my first message to Askren was like, it started off as like a backstory and it ended up in that kind of stream of consciousness rambling of like the pain, the blood. It's pure, it saves. And it was just, that was literally like from day one.
It kind of just cements
That's cool.
that
yeah,
Yuri
well,
hates the church, and this just sort of like it only
Yeah.
pours more cement on that pile.
Oh man.
yeah, we gotta solve this. This is
Yeah, I really
not
hate
allowed
the
to-
church.
this
Oh, yeah.
This is even
proper
more.
church
Well,
ethos.
loves the
Yeah.
I'm kind of behind Ulrich on how he's gonna solve this.
Well,
next
we are
time.
of course gonna find out how all of the answers, or a few of the answers, or some of the answers, next week. But man, right now, why don't we go around and do some quick hooks and plugs? Tell everyone. Oh no! Before we do that, why don't we do experience? Because I always forget that, and you guys have been wanting it. So. Because you reminded me. So the way we do experience is everyone has 1 point to give and you guys just tell me who you want to award your point to and why, whether it be amazing roleplay, awesome use of powers, creative way of doing, engaging the story, whatever you think makes someone earn that experience. And so we'll go in order. We'll start with you, Speedy.
I gotta give my point to 4 for his amazing role playing back at the church, the other church, the Somnambulist, turning himself into the form of the deformed Simon and trying to convince this chick that he came back. Fantastic.
All right. Sounds good. 4 is going to get Speedy's point, and who is next? Din. That means you are next. Who do you think gets yours? And
my
why?
point will be easy for me. My point, I feel like the other 2 gents here, they didn't try to kill me this time, and that's sad that's like a positive where it's like, cool, like they did good this time. Like the bar is that low now. So,
But now you know why.
yeah, see, so that's why my
Wow.
point has to go to Vesper. She's the only one I can goddamn trust right now.
Right?
So I
Holy
gotta
shit!
put the points where I know they're safe and they're not gonna be used against me.
Yeah.
Oh. 4,
Nice,
what about
nice.
you, man?
That's true.
I gotta give it to Speedy. You have this wonderful ability when you're playing Felix just to sort of zone in on what he's doing in the moment, and it's so creepy. Stop it. I'm bribing you to stop it. So take this point.
All right.
It's so wonderful. It's a treasure every time.
Thanks.
And last, Lisa, who's getting your point and why?
Now it's a toss up. Now this is hard because
No
the
pressure.
RP from 4 is so good, but Din is someone I can trust and count on. Who did not?
Why is this
try
a
to
hard
kill
decision?
me.
What the hell?
I would not have done that roleplay if he had not been the better man and got the thing out of the skull.
Oh gosh.
He also gave the idea to have you pretend to be him.
You ribbed me. You did
That was
this.
pretty crazy. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I'm
Ulrich
gonna
gets
I'm gonna
ideas sometimes.
give it to Din, so we're all even.
All right.
Yeah,
So
thank
Ulrich
you.
is getting 1.
Team.
No, we're all even.
Nice,
Sweet.
good.
All
No
right.
one's left behind.
So I got some
Yeah.
experience recorded, and of course, by the way, we are going to we're gonna go get some hooks and plugs out of our players here. But first, we have to go through and do some of these things. First and foremost, I want to thank Term. These are all from. Oh no, these are from the last 6 hours. Lady Shadowwind and Mayhem and Ironclad King and Zwike and Simon Zed and Earthbound and Gorgajar and Tony D. Seattle and Kurtesvi. Thank you for following, everyone, and welcome to the madness. Thank you, of course, Montravant and Ayami for dropping those hosts, and Shadzar for the bits before. Thank you guys so much, and of course, thank you everyone for hanging out. Don't go running away, by the way. We're gonna do some hooks and plugs here, and then we're gonna pass the love on to another channel, just to keep it going. But let's start off. Everyone, tell us a little bit about yourselves, what you get up to on the internet, and where people can find you. And we'll start in reverse order. Start with Lisa.
What?
Unprepared.
I'm Lisa Lee.
The madness.
I know. I'm a voice actor.
Overreaching.
And I can't talk about what just opened this weekend and released because I can't talk about it, but it was really cool over in another city. It was really cool.
Was it a door?
Sure. There are many doors. There were many doors there.
Oh.
And you can see me coming up at Big Bad Con in San Francisco. I'll be running some Blades in the Dark up there. That's October 13th to the 15th in San Francisco. And you're going to see me at TwitchCon. And
Yeah, we will.
there's another con
Nice.
coming up. And when I can talk about things, I will, because I know it's obnoxious, but it was really exciting, this thing that I can't talk about this weekend.
It comes with the business.
Yeah, get up to the business. I don't want to get iced.
Well, Lisa's Twitter is right there in chat. You guys make sure you go give her a follow, show her some love, and check out all that awesome stuff she's doing. I accidentally screwed up cameras. So while I'm fixing that, who's next? Four, you're next.
It's me. I'm in the reverse order.
Ooh.
And my name is Fjord, and I am on the channel on the Fjord front. And we do the RP stuff there as well. We play D&D. We also have a mouse guard game. But this mouse guard game is sort of like a take on the Western Marches play style. You know, you get a bunch of players together. They all sort of corroborate in one big settlement, and they try to like build it up and make it a really cool place. And some really dramatic things are happening right now in mouse guard. At least things that are like very funny and adorable because they're mice. And Friday is our Out of the Abyss campaign. Sunday, which is tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, we are jumping back into the Festival of Colors. And last week, my players completely surprised me by taking on the Slad that has been causing so much havoc in the city of Braunfels during the time of which this big festival is going to take place. And wow, they have a doozy of a session dealing with the aftermath of killing this monster out in daylight. I'm also doing, well, you know, Askren said at the beginning of the stream that there's going to be another mouse guard game over here, so I think it's 10 p.m. Come check it out.
Yeah, you guys do not want to miss the Dark Spring. I am excited, and we're going to get into some more details of that in just a second, but we have to talk before that to Mr. Dan Money himself.
Yeah, what up? What up? Another great, pleasant evening in Palemore tonight. Dan Money. I was
When are
here
they not,
for
really?
the evening. Yeah. I'm a digital artist and game developer. I do a lot of like character designs, that kind of stuff. And I'm making a visual novel right now. And my most recent news is I was a guest artist for a World Compendium, basically like a bunch of assets for a tabletop game. You can use it for, I'll post a link actually in the chat. Kickstarter's up right now. I designed a really cool like samurai character for it, so check it out. It's you can run it for D&D 5e Pathfinder and Anima if anybody knows that. It's called Luminous Echo. It's by the artist Wen M, good friend of mine, and please check it out. I was honored to be a part of it, just like I am to be a part of this show. Rock and roll, everybody.
Awesome, amazing. Go check that out. I don't have someone drop a Twitter link for Din and all that good stuff because I don't have it in front of me. Last but not least, well, actually, kind of maybe least, I don't know, is Mr. Speedy.
Hi, I'm Speedy. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter as Not So Speedruns, where I am less crazy usually than here, but I can't guarantee that that's all of the time. I try to keep it under wraps. I let it bottle up and then let it all come out here. This is just my relief of all the crazy that is already inside of me. But I play D&D. I stream a bunch of indie games sometimes. I play a lot of Darkest Dungeon. You can catch me playing a D&D 5e campaign on Mondays, where 4 is also there. We've been playing through Horde of the Dragon Queen, and we've gone completely off module right now, and I'm trying to do everything, and it's going great, probably.
Doing great.
You can also catch me on Blades in the Dark 6 and 20, which is normally on Thursdays on my channel, as well as Wednesdays on Unmade Gaming's channel. But we just had our season 1 finale, so we're going to be off for a few weeks and then back on for season 2, additionally on Video Store Cowboys channel. The man is crazy trying to run a game on 3 channels with 3 different groups. But it's going to be insane. If you want to catch up on the previous episodes, all of them are on my YouTube. So I highly recommend it. But yeah, you can also see me here next week when I will be devolving even further into madness because my dad is back.
Hashtag daddy's home.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Please go show all these fantastic people some love. As always, my name is Astrid. I am your host and dungeon master here for all things exploding dice. And what that means is we have all kinds of new stuff that's starting. So tomorrow at 10 p.m., as said, we have The Dark Spring, is a brand new Mouse Guard campaign, DM'd by 4, and it is going to be played by myself, That Bronze Girl, Simply JXN, and Drunkly Romantic. Just really, really cool people that I cannot wait to play mice with. And then after that, I am actually doing more Mouse Guard on Bubbernaut's channel because we decided that that is going to be a thing. So I think it's me, Eric Vulgaris is DMing, Bubbernaut and is playing with me, and then 2 people who I don't know very well yet. One is a concept artist and the other is a variety streamer, I believe. I don't know, I've only been talking to them for a little while, but it's either way, it's bound to be a great show because, you know, Eric runs good stuff, and I trust his judgment always. Tuesday, that is Monday. Oh, and then for those of you who are wondering where Mini Painting Monday is I might push those back to like after the Mouse Guard game, because I'll still do it. It'll just be a little bit later in the night. What late night mini painting? What can you do? I still want to get it done. And so Tuesdays is going to be more Fuzzy Dice. I've got the Girls Guts Glory crew coming this week. Should be a ton of fun. Wednesday, we are back with Iron Gods Season 2. That is finally returning. We've got some new cast. We've got some new stuff to do. It's going to be a great show for you guys. I know it is. Thursday, we're off. Friday, we're off. Saturday, we're back here. So almost a full week of streaming content for you guys. And if you want it, all you got to do is hit that follow button. And if you really, really want it, just hit that subscribe button, man. It's $5, and you get cool emotes and stuff to use in our games to help out our players, and enroll in our Discord channel and other cool stuff. It's a lot of fun. And we just thank you all for your support, man. Thank you guys so much for spending your evening with us, and it just enriching our lives with your presence. We are going to pass the love on to another channel that is streaming right now, and I am trying to figure out who that is going to be.
Who we got? Who we got?
If Not So Speedruns is streaming.
Nah, screw that guy.
Yeah, I heard he had to go last
Yeah,
in this other stream when they were telling everybody about their stuff.
Oh, and Strategicon. It's TwitchCon, Big Bad Con, and Strategicon. I've got friends who are kind of gathering together and forcing me to run some D&D and Blades in the Dark at Strategicon.
Here's who we're gonna raid, because he has raided me a couple times and I have not returned the favor yet. We're gonna drop over and say hello to my good friend Mick Loken, who is playing some Drunk Souls right now. So this should be incredibly fun, and I owe him back for the last time he came and smashed the channel. So here's the thing! ! Raid to Mick Loken. If I could type it in properly, MC Loken. No. I can't type apparently.
More like drunk Askren.
Drunk me. I've only had 1 beer, but fine. There's the raid link, guys. There it is in chat. Go hit that shit. Go show McLoken all the love. He is such an awesome guy. Make sure you use the word butts a lot because he really likes it. And that, I think, is going to be it for us. We will see you next time. Thank you for watching, but as always, don't let Dicethulu get his tentacles on you, because he might make you torture and murder a lot of people and then just kind of forget about it.
And kill your father, maybe.
Whatever.
Maybe.
We'll see you next time, guys. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Yeah.